Good morning, everybody. Here we are, match day number 14. Yours truly, back from the sunshine. We're no longer palm trees and blue sky and swimming pools behind me, so there's no jumping in the pool today. Your host, Daryl Bradley, with you, and we've got two veterans here, Dream Crushers. We've got Kerry Kreitz and Dexter Wiseman. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. You didn't want to put a pool in that room?
Yeah, I know.
A little kiddie pool,
maybe a hot tub or something, but that might be a little awkward, right?
Especially when it's not even your own house.
Yeah, I tell you, it's good to be back. You know what? Here we are, back in home office. Week 14. We got a big match here, guys, to start us off here. We got three, obviously, key matches today. Paradise Marvel versus the GP Holy Rollers. Panorama Mad Hatters versus the Timmins Mighty Plucks. And then the Holy Rollers back at it against the Panorama Mad Hatters. But all accounts and purposes, guys, this first match here this morning here, Paradise Marvel versus the GP Holy Rollers. Huge match to get things started. Both playoff implications. Obviously, Paradise is in a good spot. Holy Rollers over there in the Rusted Petal division need a big win. They've got less games in hand as Next Gen and the Bombers. They got 2 games in hand, 2 games to play. And so obviously need this first one here up against the Marvel. Dex, you first. What are you looking to see here from today's matches, but more importantly for the first one?
Obviously, first match is huge. GP is kind of in a position where they're definitely going to need 2 wins. 2 wins today is going to be massive for them, so expect them to come out firing. Paradise is shooting for first place. The Dream Crushers stumbled a little bit last week, so the Paradise is in a position now where if they take 7 points the first game, they can catch us by half a point. So expect them to be coming out wanting that win. That's for sure. I don't believe Paradise has a poll today.
No, they don't.
No.
So we'll see if that plays into anything at all. But I expect this first match to be fireworks.
Yeah. How about you, Kerry? Your thoughts on the first one?
Yeah, same thing. Obviously, being a part of the Dream Crushers team, we're always watching the teams that are chasing us down, and Paradise Marvel is in a good position here, but the Holy Rollers have a lot to fight for, right? They unfortunately only have 2 games left, and they're a little bit behind the 8 ball, so they need some big wins here. So Paradise Marvel is going to be playing a tough team right away. And the Rollers try to set the pace because they have 2 games today, so it's going to be a big match.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's bring in our managers. We'll get them chatting. I know the guys are always eager and keen to get bowling and whatnot, so we won't dilly-daddle too long on this. So let's bring in Gerald Hafner and Curtis Kaplan, our managers. Gerald, good to see you. Fresh off the heels of a fine podcast on Wednesday. This is a little bit more tame on this show, just a little asterisk there. But good to see you guys. Gerald, first off for you, obviously we're talking about Holy Rollers happen to have an important match. Guys are there ready. You had said, what's the feeling in the lanes there for you?
The feeling's really positive. These guys, they've always bowled hard, right? But I mean, we had some tough matches our first go around with especially with Edmonton, and that's where we lost some ground, right? But these guys are ready to go. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So we're just without Curtis having to pull, I think if I just come and kick somebody in the shin down there, we might be all right? So
these guys quite the hike.
You don't look fast enough to get there in time.
They're ready to go, and we were just in a tournament in Dawson Creek yesterday. Lots of guys got lots of games in, and so they're gunning. They're ready to go.
Now, dealing with daylight savings times, does that affect anything for you? I know us commentators are a little bit fuzzy this morning here, but how about you guys from a bowling perspective?
Well, it didn't work out too bad. For the wife and I, it did, because we got an alarm at 3:30 this morning. So we've been up since 3:30 this morning, but I'm not throwing, so I'm okay, right? So, but everybody else, they got home from Dawson Creek before the time change happened. But in your mindset, you're thinking, okay, we're losing that hour right off the hop, right? So, but that doesn't bother these guys. They usually party till 6 a.m. anyway, so we're good to go.
Nice. And Kaplan, Gerald obviously mentioned that you don't have a spare today. I think that you've managed to coast the entire year without having to use a spare.
That's right.
So
yeah.
tough managerial job. I mean, on one hand, it's nice to not have to make the poll, but on the other hand, you kind of really want to make a poll. How's the crew down there at Paradise this morning?
Yeah, they're feeling pretty good. We got here nice and early, got a full game in for a warm-up, so I think they're ready to go.
Right. So then that same question as far as daylight savings, that really didn't affect because you can work out all the cobwebs and get there
Yeah.
super early and play some game, and now you're into mid-season form.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Lineup, guys. Let's chat about that, and we'll get things rolling. So Kaplan, go first. How's your lineup looking?
See if I can remember. Tracy's going to be starting it off. Carey Schneider will be second. Mike third. Mark fourth, and Brian cleaning up.
Right. Now, we had mentioned earlier, obviously, the Paradise has an opportunity to get into first. Is that something that's on the minds of the team and manager of hey, like let's put a big one together and we get ourselves into first? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We want to get that first spot because even with a couple teams behind us, it could still catch us if we lay an egg here. So we got to come out guns blazing.
Nice. Okay. Good to hear. And Gerald, how about your lineup there, bud?
We're starting with Robert, and then Michelle is in second with Corey in third. Sean and Scott. Carter's going to come in. Danny's going to sit on the bench this time.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else from you guys? Dex, Carey, you want to know?
I'm excited to watch this match.
Yeah, we're excited. Good luck to you, Curtis.
Good luck, Gerald.
Yeah, lots of people out there watching. This is a big match to start off with for sure. Lots of playoff implications. So best of luck to both of you, and we'll chat with you after.
Hey, thanks.
Good luck, guys.
So quickly, we'll do the lineups here afterwards. Carey, you want to do Paradise? Dexter, you do the Holy Rollers, please.
You bet. So obviously we have Mark Miller. Melinda is on the mend from a fresh pregnancy, so they got a little baby. Tracy Smith, Brian Hurst, Bobby Kite, Rob Wolfson, and Mike Lecuse, and obviously their emergency spare, Carey Schneider.
For the Holy Rollers, we've got Scott Hawka, Sean Tompkins, Carter Stretch, Robert Tompkins, Corey Pijou, Danny Stewart, Michelle Bailey, and Gerald F-Bomb Hafner.
There you go. I hope you all listened to the podcast on Wednesday. It was quite enlightening and had a few extra key words in there.
It was fantastic. It was great.
So here we go, guys.
It should be entertaining.
Yeah, big match, obviously here. Everybody's talking about getting a good start and getting going, and it's be exciting to see here. And I know people are sitting there pins and needles to see what's going to happen in this one for their own teams and their own spot in playoffs, right? I know the Bombers are definitely, obviously, with the Holy Rollers coming up in behind us. It's a key first match against Paradise. So whatever happens. We'll deal with it after.
Paradise is playing on a different set.
Yeah,
They're playing on
lane
18 today.
Yeah, interesting. Hey,
They must have a tournament or something going on this morning there. The overall feeling of Paradise is that 17-18 is not the favorite set. So there must be something going on.
Lane 17 is always tough.
And they're only playing one game here, though.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they're a 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. So yeah, they must have something going on. Maybe. Hey, that's they don't have YBC provincials. I know that's in Alberta today, or is that all up in Edmonton area?
That is all in St. Albert Bowl. You bet.
Oh, okay.
Or at least it's in Edmonton. Yeah, for sure.
And here we have Carey Schneider. Obviously, Carey Kreitz, you mentioned emergency spare. Paradise had a scheduling conflict and a couple things, and obviously pregnancy with Melinda. That the flexibility of the league that we allowed the emergency spare back in here for this one.
Yeah, exactly. And Carey's played a match for them prior in the season, so no big shock there that Carey was selected to play. So I think he was out on the slopes yesterday, so who knows how good his legs are today.
Yeah, right. Nice shot there by Michelle.
He's out in the Alps.
Yeah, and that just speaks to, next year, right? We've talked about, changes to the league and some adjustments, and that's just having a larger roster, so we don't have to be in a position of having an emergency spare. We quickly adapted to that early on in the year that, flexibility was going to be the key for year one of the league, and things were going to come up, and coaches or schedules or holidays or whatever it was going to be. That
look at that hustle.
Yeah, the manager
Gerald just booking it down the side there.
Yeah, exactly. DB having that flexibility this first year was vital in order to keep this league going and making sure everything runs half smoothly.
Now, guys, the Holy Rollers haven't played here. Looks like since week 7.
Yeah, they
It's
did a
been a
lot
while.
of games really early. Yeah.
right? And they got themselves into a good position early too, with in the standings, and people were sort of chasing them, which was he was giving the Holy Rollers a ton of credit here early on that hey, this team is for real and they want to play, and they've sort of stayed in the mix. Teams have caught up a little bit, but it's been good for them, right? But now, do you think that that's 6 weeks, 7 week layoff, which in reality is actually longer than that, will make any difference at all?
I think it just depends on how you guys are doing. I think their last game that they played, they didn't. I don't believe they won that last one, if I remember right. So maybe having a little bit of a break in between it is okay. A little time to mentally reset and come back. And obviously, it's worked for them. They started off with a 5 spare, and then followed by 3 strikes right away. So it looks like this could be a good match here. Lots of marks early.
Yeah, I remember Danny Stewart having some pretty big games. I'm looking back here at week 7, and he had a 310 in his game, and us being all impressed with Danny playing anchor position there. So,
Absolutely.
wondering what the thought there is. Maybe Hauka's been playing really good, and he hasn't really played the anchor role. So, we'll see how that comes into
I think
play.
he played a tournament yesterday. They were saying in Fort St. John, and from what I understand, he played really well.
Yeah, he was in Dawson Creek, and I think he shot like 1600 for a 6.
That was Hauka or Danny?
Hauka.
Good, Hauka.
So.
Hauka.
Oh, yeah,
Potato.
His last name changes every time you talk to somebody. So
he doesn't even correct you. I don't think he cares anymore.
But look at that start by them, though, guys. Spare 4-bagger. Both of these teams rolling.
Yeah, lots of strikes up there. This is the way it should be.
And that Thompson can fire too, right? Robert can fire.
The first pickup.
Yeah, that's our first open. Assuming he doesn't get a kickback. You can spare splits there. Not sure if you could spare a head pin. That'll be a tall ask.
All right,
starting
to yell now.
Gerald's getting into it.
That's
a hell of a start.
And that makes a difference, even through the microphone or through the cameras. I mean, you can sense the energy, and I mean, maybe somebody's watching or listening, and you can sense energy. Especially, obviously, you see a whole bunch of strikes being thrown. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
They're excited.
Last matches here for Paradise. They had 2 matches on week 11, playing one against the Mighty Plucks where they went 8-0, and then Paradise played the Sleeping Giants, lost 5-3. But they've been in a pretty good position. Obviously, that 5-3 loss was a tougher one with Mike having a 180 and Bobby Kite struggling to a 150 there to finish. But Brian Hurst had a 348 in that game, right? So,
right, yeah. Yeah, they've had Paradise has been kind of riding that roller coaster, right? They've always had a hot shooter, and they can carry total. It seemed like almost every match, it was just getting everybody clicking at the same time. And with Curtis not being able to make a pull ever, you just have to stick with it and grind through every match, right?
Yeah, that's a challenge for sure. It's definitely not an advantage to do that. We've often talked, haven't we, about Masters versus the Open. And in Masters, there is no pull. Mm-hmm. So guys have to play. Whereas this format, the allowance is there for the pull, but they haven't been able to make one.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit easier if you have 2 games in the day with the no pull, just because you have an opportunity to semi figure it out a little bit. 1 game matches in and out and no pull, that's tough.
Yeah. So there's our first one for the Holy Rollers. Scott, of course, commentator curse as we're beefing him up a bit.
Yeah. Ooh, through the hole.
And this Brian Hurst here, guys, as the season's gone along, seems to have settled in a bit, hey, on the anchor, down low position. Good fit there.
Yeah, he's a great player. I don't think he got all the credit that he deserved until he won the Autumn Open. And then people started to realize how good that he actually is. But, he's very solid.
Yeah,
super simple square
Ontario,
style.
right?
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
A ton of rotation on his ball, though, right? When it's hitting the pins, it's got some explode factor to it.
Yeah, and his shoulders are super square. His arm swing is super straight. So a little bit of nerves shouldn't affect him a whole lot. You know,
Yeah.
maybe lose a little rotation, but the accuracy should still be there. So
Yeah, good start for both teams. Within a pin.
yep, absolutely.
Totals are being added in.
Yep, for both.
Perfect.
Yep.
I think Scott will want that those pins back. Pins are important, but other than that, that's a great start for both of them.
Seems like Paradise has had quite a few thick hits, getting the reaction to it, but they're all right thick. It seems like to start with. So
that team is all rollers, right? There's no chuckers on that team. That everybody's got lots of fingers on the ball. So high hits are kind of what they're looking for, and the roll to take care of the rest, right?
GP on the other side is just absolutely burrowing every shot.
Yeah, they are.
There's been nothing in pocket.
Great start for Michelle. I don't know if we've seen her play a whole lot.
No, she was a late addition to the roster, so I think she missed the first couple weeks of their matches.
I believe she replaced Kately, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But she's a great player. She used to play here in Edmonton too. It's nice to see her out competing again.
The claps.
Good start to the third frame there for both teams. Paradise just making sure of their spares, and we all know down the line that those are going to be important.
Yeah.
Big shot here for Mike. Bounce back after his 3 frame, and obviously not a great count for his first frame. So.
Ooh. That hung on.
Better.
I thought that was right when he let it go, but he must be playing further right today. Mike is a big student of the game. He'll move all over, change lines, change rotations if he has to, change balls all the time. He normally plays pretty far left though, but that was definitely a little bit more up the gut. Good shot.
Miller to match his triple that Michelle has the triple there. Obviously, got it.
See, lots of roll, lots of fingers.
Some good fingers on that one. Great shot.
We have some good matches here, team.
Yeah, this is good. This is what you want to see coming down the line, right? The last 3 weeks, lots of playoff implications for most of the teams still, right?
That was a great shot.
by Haka.
Here's my Canadian question of the morning. Does every province have daylight savings time?
No, not Saskatchewan.
Not Saskatchewan.
Just Saskatchewan's the only one without. So everybody else is dealing with daylight savings time. Okay. So our Ontario friends that are watching, or any other friends that are
pretty great. Pretty hard to believe Saskatchewan's the smart province.
Or they just can't turn clocks backwards.
Yeah, they just
we'll let them decide.
Not a fan of daylight savings time at all. But I mean,
there was the pocket shot.
Yeah, absolutely flush.
Jeez.
At least it's happening this weekend and not next weekend on Masters weekend. It usually falls on that. So.
Oh, another bomber for Robert.
Just so clean out of the hand.
It's funny. I do believe that, like Gerald was saying, Robert just showed up 10 minutes before too. Is Robert here yet? Robert's not here yet, and now here he is and just gunning.
Schneider would like that one right out of the hand.
Schneider with the finger point. All right, Michelle.
We have got a match here.
First ham bone.
Oh,
man, going to aces.
A good count though. Good count of that turkey.
Yeah.
Playing with fire a little bit. She was thick on the last one too, right? You're gonna get burned once in a while when you're playing that high. But when it's good and it's rolling, it's money and it looks great. But
Yep.
if you just miss it a little bit, that kind of turns into your aces or your splits.
I'm sure she'll be happy with the 120 and 4.
Oh yeah.
It's a good start.
And good cover there by Mike. Chop off's always a little bit difficult. You know, it's that thought in the back of your mind, don't chariot.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you like the first shot. You let the first shot go and you think it's good, and then you get that ball. You can't really call it a power chop with Mike there, but
Yeah.
a chop that you weren't expecting, and then you're a little concerned going for that side hit, but good half.
Oh, Miller.
There's that split. So, like I said, if you just miss it just a little bit,
This
you run
is
into those.
absolutely spareable here, though.
It
On
is because of the
17
kickback,
And you know,
though, right? Yeah.
and you know, Mark spared it probably a million times in the center.
Yeah, you hit that 3-pin high left,
Yeah.
it's got a chance.
Oh, not high right? Not
Yeah,
high right.
high right's no good. High right's no good. So Corey started off really good, and she's struggling to find the middle at this point right now. But her spare shots have been good. Missed on this
Yeah.
one though.
And she's been so good for the rollers too.
Absolutely, yeah.
She's been
Yeah.
playing really well.
She'll want that frame back, but
Yeah.
that's all right. Maybe just a little quick with the feet there. Looks
you
a little
think-
out of control at the line.
With her playing so well for so long for the Holy Rollers, does she have a little bit more leeway than some of the other players on the team? Because Danny is on the bench, right?
Right,
Danny's-
right.
yeah,
And
not
with
so
Michelle
sure.
in the lineup, then you have the option of pulling a lady. So, I would assume that she probably has another frame or so. She hasn't played all that bad.
No, not
It'll
at all.
depend on what Scott's doing down at the bottom there. With
That's tough, though, right? If you're looking at something, you're looking at, 3 misses, and now you got through the hole.
good shot.
Kind of that's the one you're looking at for sure. And
Yeah.
you have a long leash, but at the end of the day, you got to win this match. This is so.
Oh, 100%.
Can't let it go too long. Make the change and roll with it. And like you said, Danny's there on the side, and he's probably ready to go. But
Oh, yeah,
Gerald
for
knows
sure.
what he's doing.
Nice to
Well,
see Hawker throw the ball a little bit more aggressively. People have been trying to beat that into his head all year, so he's finally taken some advice.
So we're 17 pins apart? Pretty close after 4 still.
2 strikes, but we got 2 doubles working for the Holy Rollers. There's another pocket shot, light pocket.
I kind of don't want a commercial break. Everybody's rolling.
That's what the commercial break's for. Make things interesting.
Gee, I thought the Holy Rollers feed was frozen.
No,
He was
that's
just
just
standing
Robert.
Maybe taking a little bit longer than normal there, hey guys?
Nah,
Yeah, I think so.
he as he goes further into rolls, he will slow down for sure.
Yeah.
Which is okay. That's good. Get the mind in the right spot for him.
Yeah.
Oh, punch on the
Oh, we got
second
the
row.
chop. Yeah. So that opens that up a little bit. Obviously, Tracy been staying pace.
Schneider threw a
Big double back for Snyder.
So 147-5. That'll actually give Tracy a 3-pin advantage, assuming that she throws the next strike.
So when you guys are playing matches, and here's a little insight for some people, do you always look at the max out against your opponent to say, okay, this is what I'm behind if we both max out, right?
I'm always
or do you
trying
look
to,
at a spare or something like that?
I'm always looking at number of balls ahead or behind. Is kind of how I'm thinking. So, that's why I'm going up there and I'm trying to pick my wood, because you know what, you could pick your wood and all of a sudden you're within 14 rather than within 16, and that 2 points is a really big difference, because that means 2 balls, not 1, right? So that's kind of how my mindset is, always trying to put myself up more balls or reduce the number of balls I'm behind.
So what are you counting for the number of points per ball?
15.
I don't know if I've heard that before. It's kind of like the poker strategy of the number of big blinds, right?
Yeah.
Your big blinds, small blinds versus dollar value. I'm
So many
interesting, Tex.
blinds.
I don't think I've heard that one before, but that's a neat concept. Carrie Dan, I'm a point person. I'll calculate the number of points.
Yeah.
Right. And really won't start looking at it until probably 7th or 8th when you're at the at the 180 to 135 max outs and what there is, and then sort of start looking at number of points. But yeah, I've never really looked at number of balls, Dex. I might want you to elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, it's just a way to just mentally keep myself engaged. Even if I'm down, 14 points, but I have a spare and he has a strike. Well, then I'm still, I'm 2 balls behind max, sort of thing, right? So he makes one mistake, and then all of a sudden I can make up that ball.
And then do you look as well, balls ahead?
Yep, for sure. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm up 45. I'm up 3 balls. The more 45s you're up, the better.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it. I really like it.
Good shot by Sean there too. What another great frame by Paradise there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sean's rolling there big time, right? Scott Hauke's big shot here, double. Runs another triple.
Keep their team in it, carrying their team through this commercial break, right? That's huge.
That's another great shot by Scotty. He looks like a whole different person right now. It's awesome seeing.
So we have a 2-pin difference halfway through the match. Oh, sorry, 12-pin match.
Yeah. Paradise has got a couple extra marks up top. Holy Rollers have an extra double in there. It's pretty even.
Yeah,
it's pretty even.
Perfect. All right, we'll run our commercial and we'll bring back the last half of this match.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
All right, Terrio. Big match. Both these teams on pace for 1300s pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. And they both needed it, right? They both wanted the big start, so it's good to see that they're executing on their game plans right now.
Yeah.
A couple of little slippy ones, but overall, it's been a great match.
Yeah, lots of solid playing. A couple open frames in there, but that's just bowling.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Did you watch our match last weekend?
Yeah.
It
Right?
happened.
Hopefully not.
Good push again, thick one out of the break.
Good shot.
Oh, Robert.
And
with thick one,
Robert's
too.
got him rolling too. Yeah, Dream Crusher's doing okay there, guys. Couple of losses for you. Everything's okay in the Dream Crusher world, or what?
We got overpass watches for some people, and it was we had a good lunch afterwards, and it is what it is, right? Your team plays together, they lose together. So
We had, as commentators, we were talking last week that it might have been better to lose that match then than obviously the first time in playoffs. I mean, if you're going to lose, you want to lose in regular season, not in playoffs. So
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
the worst thing for you. Obviously not ideal, but again, not the worst.
Yeah,
I
and
made the comparison. Not everybody was the Miami Dolphins, right? You don't want to lose in the Super Bowl.
Right. Wasn't there Patriots too, or
Yeah.
somebody else went?
no,
17?
Yeah.
the Dolphins are the only ones that won the entire regular season and the Super Bowl. They're the only ones.
Oh,
They
okay,
have-
they won
okay.
it all. It was the
won
Patriots
it all.
that lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins had the perfect season.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And that's hard to do. I mean, that's just, so
Yeah.
not the worst.
yeah. Ultimately, it is what it is. It's okay. We're fortunate that we played really well for the first 6 games and put ourselves in a position where we were fighting for a first spot for the last 2 games, not really a playoff spot. So,
Yeah.
it's okay. We'll come back and we'll regroup and we'll find a lane that likes us better and we'll go from there.
Looking at these matches on the board here right now, guys, there's not one match that's a runaway for either team, right?
No,
You
not
got
at
a top
all.
match between Tracy and Robert. They're neck and neck. Carrie's, right even with Michelle. Mike and now Corey are fairly even. So it's there's no guarantees up on the board yet.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. This frame here could be big for Sean and Mark.
Ooh.
Oh, and that was a big punch there for Sean. Mark needs to strike to sort of continue because of the double there. Oh, and he gets the punch too. So he's ball ahead is what you'd say there. Ball or 2 balls ahead there, right, Dex?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas it could have been even probably with a strike there.
Exactly. So that allows him just one small mistake. Now that allows him to have a 5 spare over a strike somewhere in there, right?
Now, this ball ahead, is that something like who taught you that, or where does that come from? Or is that some of the guys on tour that you all talk that way, or how does that?
No, I'm just a math guy.
Yeah, well, no, it's interesting. I want
Yeah.
to be interesting to see what other people think and how they calculate. Do they calculate ball ahead, or they calculate by points?
It's good. It's good in a lot of ways. At least for me, the only person I've really ever talked to about that was Freddie. When I was playing with Freddie at Masters Nationals, and Freddie didn't give 2 shits about wood.
Yeah.
Freddie was a strike guy. I think moving over from candle pin into 5 pin, he didn't like the wood and just wanted to throw bombs. So when we were playing Masters Nationals, that's when I started talking to him about it. It's like, hey, look, you know what? You pick that 2 pin. Now you're at 14 points. You're not at 16. Now it's a little less work to make up. That's within 1 shot. And he started looking at it that way. All of a sudden, he started picking his wood because now he has a little bit of a goal in between 2. I think that's the big difference with that mindset, is that all of a sudden those pins in between really make a difference because you have small goals the entire time.
Well, and if you're talking yourself 1 ball, you're sort of in a way suggesting you're going to get a strike. It's 15 points at a time. So you're giving yourself the confidence early on without saying, I need to get a strike, or strike is 15 or this, right? It's 1 ball. Right?
Absolutely. Or all of a sudden, the opponent punches, and now you're like, okay, now I've made up that ball. Now I could go and spare, and I've made up that ball already, right?
I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Tracy's got quite the pattern going on the odd frames.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we blame that on right and left lanes, but just her odd frames. She's got the corner strikes and all the evens.
And she's been deadly on them too, right?
Yeah.
So steady, Tracy. One of the great females of our game. One of the great players of our game. I should throw the female in there. One of the great players overall.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And a little open there now for Robert, on his punch. and 7. So maybe slight advantage, I guess, to Tracy.
Yeah. Tracy definitely has the advantage in that match now.
And when Carey drops that finger down early, that's an early strike. I mean, he's putting that finger down before the ball even hits those dots, eh?
Yeah. Big confidence, right? He knows how his ball reacts when he hits it to the spot. And
both
obviously
teams working.
He won the Autumn Open there, right? So he's familiar with the house.
And there's Mike.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Do you think we would have seen a pull there for Mike? If one available? I mean, he's he hit the middle.
Oh, I see what you're saying. If there was availability, maybe, but
yeah, maybe, but still, he's working the 130. He's in his match, so probably not. I don't think actually.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I think if we were going like ball by ball, and Corey went up and threw a strike, and then he didn't, then maybe, but.
Yeah, we're starting to see the Paradise Marble starting to roll again after the commercial break there. They had a little hiccup in 6, but
veterans there too, right?
The
Paradise
rally here.
Yeah, veterans guys like, hey, we've been in this position before in various matches of their own or team, and we can do this. Maybe where the Holy Rollers would lack, if you will, at least comparatively to Paradise.
Yeah,
is experience in big game matches and tournaments and stuff like that. But they're only going to get better, and I mean they're great players too. It's just
yeah. If you were to say the big difference between the two teams would be like national experience and stuff like that. But
and now we get down into those 7, 8, 9, 10. We're looking at our 180s, our 135. So people maybe start calculating the max outs and numbers and where we're at. So it gets a little bit tight near the end.
Yeah, this is a huge frame for Paradise. I mean, throwing 4 strikes and a spare and putting up a double there. This is where you start seeing the separation between the matches. GP's going to have to make sure they come back at the 8th frame and put up some marks here because.
Yeah, a little breather here for Sean and Scott. Hey guys, that's your 4-5.
Yeah,
let's throw a couple of big shots. There we go. We got one from Sean. Well done. Right, and same thing, Scott. Now he's in the anchor for a reason and for make the pressure shots. Stay with Brian, who's now got a triple, and Scott's playing well. So let's see how we can.
Yeah,
do you think they know? Right, guys are watching the scores. I mean, do they know the score right up to date, frame by frame, or do they know individual, or are they just not looking at all?
Yeah, I don't know with them. I'm not sure if they're scoreboard watching or not, but me personally, I always wanted to kind of know where we're at. Like Dexter said, if you're a ball or 2 behind, I want to know how many frames am I behind? What am I going to need to catch up? I'm not sure what their mentality is in the Holy Rollers camp.
I know for the Bombers, we kind of glance at a little bit, but for the most part, during that frame, it's the 5. Good job, Scott. It's the 5 players. Like, let's just focus on our 5 shots, and then we can look at the score again. But not individually saying, okay, what their second player get, what did their third player get? No, it's focus on the 5, and then at the end of the frame, you can sort of take a look again.
Yeah. All right, so a little bit of a gap now, just under 30 pins for Paradise Marble, but they got a few more marks to work on. Ooh.
Have we, Dex, have you played GP lately?
I have not. I've actually never played in Grand Prairie, but I do know that since Gerald's taken over, he's put a lot of hard work into the place and definitely made the pinfall better. A little bit of oil out there, some black bases, and it seems to have made a world of difference.
Yeah,
and obviously the guys speak highly of it, and obviously it's the premier center of that area up there.
I think a big telling sign is the fact that we have not seen a blow through yet today there, right?
Yeah.
Pocket shots seem to be going, so that's
it'd be neat to I don't know if GP does a little tournament or, like you got the Vegreville tournament or the Stettler tournament or any of those little things. It'd be, do they run a little tournament that a crew could head up there?
Yeah,
We used to do the Fort St. John one, obviously, but
they run a whole bunch of tournaments up there between there and Dawson Creek that they kind of go back and forth.
So we got Aaron asking, what does a black base do? Dex, you can explain that.
The black bases are a little bit taller and a little bit narrower, so they're just quite a bit easier to knock over.
Top of the pin's easier.
Yeah.
So taller and narrower, which means it's not the same.
Yeah, the center of gravity is higher.
It's not covering the same amount of lane, so it's slightly smaller, so it makes the pins fall over easier, right?
She spared that.
3 pins there. Oh, Mike there, big double. That's a huge double for Mike, right? You know that he can get running once he does. Good job by Paradise to back up 2 doubles here in second and third spot. Big advantage now for Mike and even for Carey, right? In the 2-3 hole for Paradise.
Yeah.
Is there, stats or how many centers would have the black bases, Dex? And is there, what sort of cost do you know that they're associated with it, obviously?
I can't quite remember the costs. I want to say they were like $5 or $7, something like that, somewhere around that range per pin. As for centers in Alberta, like almost all the centers in in Edmonton have gotten them. Calgary, Toppler has them now. Paradise doesn't. I don't think Chinook does. Wow,
look at those 4 doubles, boys. Hambone.
Yeah. Scott needs to keep pace here.
Oh, it looked like a good shot, Scotty. Good double though by Sean in the 4.
Yeah. And Corey with the strike there.
Yeah, so obviously there's a bit of an investment, right, guys, to buy the bases. If you're $5-7, you're give or take $40 a lane. You got 16 lanes, you're $1,000. You need to have some backups. Yeah. You got to have the time. You got to take off the old bases, put on the new bases, right?
Which isn't fun.
Yeah, is that right? Okay.
That takes some work, but you find ways. We built it, or my grandpa built a tool for us to use, and it's kind of just rotated around Alberta, honestly. But it's worth. I think it's worth it though. I think it made pinfall a little bit more fair. I know Carey isn't a huge fan of them. He just sends pins flying, but overall,
because they're a little bit higher, right? They're so that's the thing. So that's where now a big change in the balls that you're using. Some guys are using 5 inches to get a bit higher on it. The guys are the pin reaction has changed with the pin bases.
I find that
definitely with the transition for black bases for me is I had to do it to a larger ball. There was no way I could still throw like 4 7/8 or 4 3/4 or anything like that.
And I kind of went the opposite way. I stopped caring about the size of the ball as much because the 5-inch balls are still hitting the underside of the band regardless now. Whereas the white bases, the 5-inch ball is designed to hit that band flush in the middle. Now it doesn't matter. You're hitting the underside of it anyways. So I'm just going with something with a little bit more deflection for me, which is just a lighter ball. Not really worried about the diameter.
Yeah, you've got so much rotation on your ball, though. Well, look at this, guys. Here in the leadoff hole. 2 punches for Tracy in 8 and 9. 3 punches for Robert, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
that point is up for grabs. It's 220 to 212, so that's going to come down to the 10th frame. When we thought that one was going to be a runaway match, both of them shooting 300. So
yeah, absolutely.
Carey, big shot here for Snyder. See if we get the early finger point. We didn't get that, and we got the punch.
Chop for Michelle.
Good push. That was definitely high, right?
Yeah, chop for Michelle. So she's a 199 in 8, maximum 229 in 9. So Carey's going to have a lead, just a matter of how many points here he gets with all these. So he's looking at a handful of point lead, and there's the spare for Michelle. So good for her to clean that up.
Yeah, so now she's back within the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. 236. So we're max going to be up by 7. Hundred-ish pin lead for Paradise Marble overall on total. And with the 100 pins, you got 2 doubles in there working, 3 doubles in there working, guys. So definite advantage to Paradise Marble.
Yeah, a big advantage there. Corey's having a hard time getting it to the middle. When she hits the middle, it's a bomb, though.
Last match for the Paradise Marble, they're sitting at 31.5 points, just a reminder here. And the Dream Crushers are sitting at 38. So 6.5 points gets them into a tie position with the Dream Crushers. 7 gets them into first place.
Yeah.
I know all the Dream Crushers out there watching right now are sitting on their hands, wondering what's going to happen. And there's Mike, little open. So he's not up by as many now, is he? 181. So he's pretty much got that one locked.
Yeah. Yeah, he just needs 15 in his last frame there.
I don't know what the rule commish for the tie in the standings would be. Would it be a head-to-head match between Dream Crushers Paradise? Should you guys tie?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. You still got the Heartland Kingpins, though, guys, with 29 points and 2 games in hand to play. So they're potentially in a good spot, too.
Oh, that's huge.
Huge shot for Mark Miller.
Gives
But
him
Sean Tompkins, too.
Sean,
I mean, he
right?
threw the right corner spare in 9. That's a big one there, too.
Yeah.
Good match in the 4-hole. Scott seems to be sticking a little bit at the line, a couple of them.
Veteran look down, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He checked his shoe last frame. He's showing the camera.
Ooh, there's a blow through, Brian, but he was going for the Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple matches up for grabs coming down the line here. Robert's 8 pins back. Michelle is 7 pins back. Mark and Sean have a good match going there. Slight advantage to probably Mark with the doubles, but real slight.
Yeah, it's within a ball.
Yeah,
You're
he maxes
281.
out at-
You're 326 for Max
Yeah,
for Sean, and you're
and
335. So
Yeah.
So all the matches within
Big
6,
first shot,
7, 8
Tracy.
points.
oh, she gets the 8s. She's
Wow.
up by
So
8.
Robert
So
needs more
strike
than
here.
a spare.
corner, so he's going to
Fireball.
need that spare.
Yeah.
Tracy Miss is going to need spare chop.
And this is where pins is really big, right?
Yeah.
And remember,
So
Tracy
huge.
got 13 in the 8th, 8 in the 9th. 7 in the 9th, sorry. So 233. Going to need spare, and then the middle. That was a big pin.
He missed
Oh,
it.
we missed it.
It hung all the way down there and then fell off at the end. Wow.
Guys, I do believe that could be the point for the Dream Crushers.
It very well could be.
Yeah. And Schneider punches again.
Get the graphics off there. Come on, get the graphics
Yeah.
off.
We're
Who
in the
puts graphics on the
same
scoring
boat
system?
here now with Michelle, right?
Yeah, we are.
Michelle throws the
Michelle's-
strike. All of a sudden, that's her match.
Yeah, 229. I mean, she's got the strike and a side. Definitely needs a strike. Got it.
Huge strike.
Wow.
Huge strike. The 229, and we got a 251. So we're 246, 244. So she needs a side, but she's got 2 balls.
Yeah.
This match is getting tight.
Yeah. Tight for the Crushers. How much
Whoa.
did she need, Daryl?
She needs a 22 count. So she now needs 5 pins. She needs a 5 count.
22 to tie.
22 to tie, and there's our tiebreaker that we're going to be looking at 6.5.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Aim for the right side.
It'd be 7.5.
Aim for the right side.
She needs the full point. You guys need the 6.5 for tie. So
Yeah. We need the Sean and Mark matches.
Michelle needs Michelle needs the full point. But guys, listen, Holy
But if the
Rollers
Dream
need this full
Crushers
point.
tie with Paradise.
Oh, Holy Rollers need as many points they can get, right? Because they still have a match yet today.
So there's the point for the Holy Rollers. So that's the one. So now we're looking for a tie. Otherwise, we're looking
it's Mark and Sean.
Mark and Sean for the extra. So 1-1 so far, looking like potentially 7-1, 6-2. See what Sean and Mark come up to. This one's over here for Mike. Mike's taking his time too, wanting to make sure he throws good shots ahead of Mark.
I'm going to send up a pair of shears to GP to cut off Robert Tompkins' mullet after that frame.
It's tough on Robert. I mean, he was throwing so good, guys. That was huge.
He played really well.
And goes, yeah,
kind of the way it goes down the line, right? It's game of momentum. You start punching a bunch of times, and then that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
We have all been there.
This is where Elon Musk needs to send me another satellite to make sure this last 2 matches is crystal clear. All right, big shot here for Miller, right? Can put some distance between him and Sean.
Absolutely needs
First
the
act.
double.
Oh, and he got her.
That's really well thrown.
245, 335, his max. So Sean can keep pace, and it really comes down to the last ball.
Yeah.
Sean needs this one now.
Got it. Nice shot.
Great shot.
Probably quick glance at the score sheet. Probably waiting
Yeah.
ball for ball now, these guys.
This shot is huge. This shot really determines this match at this point.
Oh, it looks left.
Pulled it.
Yeah, looks like he yanked it left.
Well, it wasn't a punch, which is helpful.
Oh, and then Sean punches.
And then Sean punches. 7 count, though.
So, oh my
He's
God. So
up. He's up 3.
303 to, oh boy.
He needs
So
a
he picked-
310.
Oh, he
Did
went
it.
so quick too.
You got
Did he
the
throw it through the
310.
hole?
No, he got it.
305. No.
Oh, no,
Mark,
sorry.
Mark wins.
Mark wins. Yeah, Mark got the spare, so that shut him out.
Yeah, 310 to 305.
Wow.
Good
Wow.
match.
Just went up and threw it right away.
So there's your 7-1.
Yeah.
Paradise is going to sneak ahead of the Dream Crushers.
What a match.
Wow, great standings. Well done. Kaplan, Manager of the Year, not having to make a poll, and they get into first place.
Get first place.
Maybe we should dock him a point for using so many emergency spares.
Yeah.
Huge match, guys. Look at this, 1364. I mean,
That's what we're looking for, right?
what a again veteran move. Daylight savings. Our first match at 9 o'clock, and you're getting there an hour and a half early to play and get a game in.
Yeah. That's
Take
crazy to
notes.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're looking for with this Pro League, right? Matches coming down the line. That's massive, huge.
I think we're good with the Gerald, and maybe if Mark Miller wants to come in.
Yeah.
Some key shots there. Brian's just wrapping up here, so. So a 1377 to a 1205, 7-1 victory for the Paradise Marvel over the GP Holy Rollers. Stats are getting updated. See that?
Yep. They are updated as we speak.
Good match. We'll
let's bring those guys back in here.
Gerald's in, I believe. Carries or Mark.
Yeah, we'll bring
Curtis
Gerald
is
in.
going to get Miller there, but we can bring them in.
Who did you guys want on my side?
You're good. You're good to talk to you, Gerald. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess first question for you, Gerald. I mean, had a huge start. Holy Rollers were definitely rolling. Had some good things going.
Yeah.
Not so much the commercial break, but just sort of started to falter away, or is it more a fact that the other team really started to take off on you?
Well, we didn't stop hitting, right? And I mean, Robert had a tough time there in 7, 8, 9, right? So, no, I don't think you guys should have those breaks from now on. I think you should take them out of the game. No, that was my team bowled well. 1,200 is not a bad score, right? So that's 250 average, I believe, or close. So I'm happy with everybody that bowled today. It was awesome.
Was there ever a point? Did you ever have a thought of making a poll in there?
I was thinking of Michelle, but she kept bringing back that ball, and she ended up winning her point, right? So
Yeah.
I was only thinking of Michelle at one point because I saw her opponent starting to run a bit. But no, that was it. I was comfortable with when everybody's hitting, what do you guys do, right? You know, it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? So,
For sure.
yeah. So no, I'm pleased with the outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got to hit.
Yeah.
And then to you, Miller. Mark, obviously great game. You know, question of a mentality or team mojo going on. Was it just a matter of let's just keep going, stay the course? We're veterans. We've been in this before. Throw some strikes. The game will be there in the end. Or what was the mentality as a team going through the match there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just keep punishing the middle, right? We take pride in making spares and pinning. I thought our pinning was really good today, so we know what we're capable of. Got a couple lucky strikes in there, but Tracy with her corner spares, and I think almost every head pin we were shooting at least 13 on it, right? So, and then we were fortunate enough to have Carrie come in and put up a better number than last time. So,
Yeah.
no, it was good. The team was it was very relaxed. It was.
Yeah, it looked like some of the hits. So go ahead, Dex.
Really, really big shot. First ball and 10 there. Looked super confident. You let the ball go. You knew that was money right away. Second shot, a little quick, or what happened on the second shot there?
Yeah, obviously slipped out a bit. And then I just went for the spare. I didn't look at the score the whole time, and then I came off the lane and they're like, "Oh, you won by 5." I was like, "Oh, it was close."
Yeah.
So
that's
maybe
huge.
ignorance is bliss in that regard, right?
For sure.
So, but that's the format.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If he went up, he picked his side, and then you threw. If he picked his side and you threw this spare, you won by 2. So that was like a massive shot. It was huge.
Yeah, we were just looking for bottoms, right? I'm just looking to give Brian something to feed off of in the anchor spot.
For sure.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because we thought that there was a little bit of a lull in the camera that you might have taken a look to sort of see where he was at, because you were both, shooting 335s, 330s if you all max out. But
when
otherwise.
when there's nothing going on, I was actually waiting for the ball to come back on the ball return, because we have the above ground ones. So that's all I was doing there. No head games or no camera watching. Just don't want that ball coming back because I'm trying to throw the shot, especially when you can hear a pin drop, right?
Yeah.
Now, I guess from a team perspective, I mean, that 7-1 puts you guys into first place. You did sneak ahead of the Dream Crushers. Talk about how big that means for the team to get the first overall in that division. Obviously, not done yet. Heartland still has 2 games left. they can still get there. I mean,
Yeah,
they're only
Harlan
9.5 points away, right? So there's
Yeah.
definitely potential. But I mean, to get ahead of the Dream Crushers.
Bit of a roller coaster, right? A month ago we were not really sure, and then we lose, and we're going, oh, we're in big trouble. Then we get 8th, and we're going, okay, we can sneak in. If we win our last match, we can shut out Okanagan. And then, unfortunately for the Dream Crushers, they just didn't have a day last week, and just crunch the numbers, and hope we put up a number, we can get lucky, right? So we were fortunate in that regard. We got some help from the Bombers, and that's the game sometimes.
And then also just chat about coming in early this morning and playing a full game. I mean, obviously it's daylight savings. You're there an hour early. I mean, minds are fuzzy, but whose call was it to bring everybody? Is that a Kaplan? Is that a manager move?
That's a Kaplan move, and that's probably the best thing that happened, because we were atrocious, and we were trying. We barely broke 1,000 the first time, and you could just tell it wasn't feeling good. But then we were able to warm up, and anybody else that's got one game left, I highly recommend just to talk to your proprietor, get in an extra game. It made a world of difference this time around.
Good stuff. Good to hear. Well, congratulations, obviously, Paradise. Good match for yourself, Mark. You guys are now sitting in first place and sit and wait game. Gerald, for you guys, you've still got a game left. It's not over. Playoffs are still within reach. Take a little break, and you got a little match coming up again. So,
but congratulations to you guys on your win today, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Gerald. You too. Good luck in your last 2 matches, and hopefully you can sneak in there. Put up a couple numbers.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
All right, we'll run our commercial and we'll get to our next match. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
Alrighty. Nice up and close.
Having a snack.
Real personal.
Okay, let's jump right into our managers here. From the Mad Hatters, we got Linda Seitz, and from the Mighty Plucks, Al Paquette. Hey guys.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? So for our audience, as people know, Panorama knows, the Mighty Plucks had to pre-record their session for this match because they got a big tournament going on. Al's missing it specifically for this interview. The finals of the Buddha Championship, I do believe, right?
Yeah, we got Lyle Dolph and John Cowan in the finals right now. They're just throwing bombs right now.
That's awesome.
Perfect. So, Linda, How is the team feeling? Are you guys ready for this match?
Well, it depends on what time it is.
Nobody really knows.
Everybody made it on time, so that's good.
Yeah.
They're feeling good. We have nobody on the bench today because we've only got 5 players, so they're ready to go.
Is this an opportunity? Yeah, opportunity now for the Mad Hatters to put some points on the board. Obviously, playoffs is likely, out of this scenario. It's still in the mix. Obviously, if Heartland and Okanagan do nothing, the Mad Hatters can make it in. But, the mentality going in, putting in a couple of good games, couple of good matches, is that something that weighs onto the people?
I know they want to put in as many points as they can, but it's bowling. You know how it goes. Sometimes you can throw how many strikes in a row, and then the next game you can't seem to do anything. So they're as ready as we can be.
Yeah, well, like I said, the playoffs are still there. Mad Hatters has 2 games here today. You throw a couple of big ones, you jump ahead of everybody. That puts some pressure on for other people to have to, continue to do their thing.
Yes.
But they're,
Yep,
right?
that's right.
And that's ultimately what you want to do.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
So let's get this rock and rolling. Linda, what's your lineup for today?
Larissa, David, JC, Derek, and Xander.
Yeah, so Alexander Young is in for an emergency spare due to the scheduling issues. So great to see him join the team, and heck of a shooter. So it should be fun to see fireworks there.
It should be fun. Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah. Good call.
And Al, for your pre-recorded session, who is your lineup?
We kind of went with the same lineup when we bowled well, so we'll try that again, except we made one change. So we had lead off. I had myself starting. We had Jess, Danielle, blanking, Joanne and Daryl, and then we had Eric on the bench.
Perfect. All right, we'll let Al get back to the festivities, and we'll get this match rocking and rolling. Good luck, everyone.
Well, good.
Cheers, guys. Good luck.
Alrighty.
Mad Hatters, Mighty Plucks.
There we go.
So quick little lineup. Should we look at this here? So I'll do Mad Hatters. Dex, you do Mighty Plex. So the Mad Hatters, we've got JC Brewski, Larissa Long, David Sisko, Derek Lewicki, Dylan Gosselin, Troy Seitz, Michelle Matten, of course, emergency spare Alexander Young, and Linda Seitz.
Yeah. For the Mighty Plucks, we got Al Paquette, Daryl Gauthier. Oh, I'm sure I screwed that up. Eric Dion, Jess Levine, Danielle Bertrand, and Joanne Savigny. Okay. Yeah. And manager is Al Paquette, player manager as well. Are we missing someone on there?
No, I believe that was their lineup. And we could be missing somebody on there. It was a early morning fix. So
yeah, they said they had someone on the bench. So
oh, that's right. They had Eric on the bench. You're right.
Missing someone up there. That's all right.
Yeah, Eric Dion. All right. Whenever the Mad Hatters are ready, let's rock and roll.
Al is really slow with his approach this morning.
Yeah. We had some technical difficulties when we were doing the re-recorded session, so you'll see their lane go black a few times and get refreshed. But
the internet's a little tough in there. Great first shot by Larissa there.
All right. We had
punches on the first shot.
Yeah. Oh,
it's fun watching David throw. It's fun watching all these bocce players that have come out of the woodworks over the last couple of years, and you're starting to see lots of them that are playing at a high level. It's great. Throws the ball really smooth for it. It's neat.
I'll try and fix their scoreboard a little bit here and get them in view. We'll bring Daryl in here. He had to do a little switchy poo with his camera here, so we'll try and flip them in and flip to our scores here right away. Hey, Daryl, welcome back. You're muted there, Daryl.
Now I'm good,
There we
buddy.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do a little switch from my laptop to my computer. I didn't bring my power cord, so we were starting to die on there.
That's all good. So Al starts with a 7 count. But Mad Hatter's come out good. Good first three shots there. Strike, corner spare, 5 spare. I still think Derek is one of the most underrated players in Alberta.
Lewicki?
He's so good, yeah.
Yeah.
He throws the ball so well, so smooth.
Yeah, he's made it a number of times to the singles roll-offs for the Open and stuff like that. He's played in the step ladder a few times, so definitely great shooter in Alberta for sure.
As he goes 5 through the hole.
Yeah. Everybody has their time, Daryl. Everybody has.
That's
their time.
probably been Derek's little thing, though, just the momentary lapses, right? That's really having a shining career. Is just, you know, he's there, he's in the position, but just every now and then has that momentary lapse of whoops.
Yeah.
Do you wonder how much like location plays into that? We're super fortunate where we play. I mean, we have so many events that are around us all the time. The travel isn't really too much of a concern. But being down in Medicine Hat, you know, traveling to Edmonton all the time it's a hike. You know, even I mean, Calgary's not too far, but
I think it does. I mean,
fortunate where
definitely
we are.
product. Yeah, a product of your environment, of the competition level. Not saying that there's not competition down there. Just it's not the same. There's probably the deepness of the talent pool down there is smaller than it would be up here. You can go 30 strong, 40 strong in any of the, you know, Edmonton, Calgary, you know, Red Deer probably less. That Medicine Hat hasn't had that depth. I mean, there's been some players that don't play anymore, right? They've been really strong, and so I think that helps when you have some. Yeah.
Yeah, the high end level players are there. It's just there just isn't the same number.
Yeah.
So it's hard to compete against each other all the time, right?
But perhaps something like this league helps, you know,
Totally.
promote it and people from within. And, you know, we look at guys like, you know, I think of Okanagan Eclipse, Drew Soroka, right? We haven't seen him before, and now he's in there playing, and he's an elite level player.
Absolutely.
You know, there's lots of guys across this league that are all elite level players, but they maybe haven't played in this format. So this is something now that's having them play more often. And maybe other people that are in their communities that they want to play in this too, or they see it. So it's just something that's going to build over time, hopefully.
Yeah.
That 230 or 220 average bowler pushes them to be that 250 to 260, right? Or a competitive league, maybe not in league average, but in a competitive format.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at the ladies. Look at the ladies though from the south, right? You can use them as comparison. Larissa, JC, and Michelle, they travel around a lot of tournaments, and they've been putting the time and effort in to play the tournaments. And now look at them; they're definitely strong consideration of solid ladies team. You know,
100%. Yeah, I completely agree. Larissa has put in a lot of work over the last couple of years for sure. She made Masters Nationals last year or the year before, 2020. Unfortunately, that got shut down because of COVID. But like that was her first year playing Masters, and she played lights out. It was great seeing. She's got tons of talent, and this is the first year we're really seeing JC. But I love the way she plays. Tons of aggression, tons of enthusiasm. It's great. You could just tell that she's got a really high ceiling there. Great shot by David.
And David, right, fairly young absolutely. in this format. I mean, that he's just going to continue to build, right? So you get David and you get Xander, you know, Derek, you know, some of these guys down there playing. Mike Hirsch, right? He's down there.
Yeah, I haven't seen Hershey in a long time.
You know, on the other side, then you look at the mighty Plucks in Timmins, right? We don't get a chance to necessarily see all these, you know, players shooting in tournaments out west here, but we did see them play in that 8-gamer that we ran and got a little bit of notoriety there, right? The Joannes playing in that. It's great. It's good to see that people are playing and want to be part of the format.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the greatest part, is just getting to see people that we don't normally get to see. Good half by JC there.
Now, Carrie, question for you as far as the pre-recorded. How have you found that has gone? Obviously, it's not ideal, but it's been the flexibility of the league that we've sort of had to do that a couple of times. Any comments on that? I mean, it's again not a norm and not wanting to promote it, but how has it gone for the couple of matches we've had to do?
It's gone all right. It obviously kind of wrecks my week, but doing the actual sessions themselves are fairly simple. The teams have been really good with making sure they're giving time between the anchor and the lead bowler, so we can pause the video if we need to, if the other set isn't going as fast and stuff like that. So it's gone better than expected. Obviously not ideal for the league, because now you're just facing a team that essentially is probably freewheeling, because there's no real pressure in playing anybody. But it's gone super smooth. Can't complain. Obviously with the Mighty Plucks, with their internet and stuff, and my internet at the same time, it's not the greatest video in the end, but can't complain. I'm happy that we were able to get the matches in and was able to even do this.
And realization that we might have to do this. This is, it's at first obviously we're like, no, you got to be sticking to the dates and this and that, but we're the last one on the table here first from a scheduling standpoint. So as much as we want to be number one priority, we're not there yet. And there's YBC, or there's Sudbury tournaments, or there's coaching, or there's babies being born, or whatever it is that, we've had to adjust. And good on you, and good on the teams for doing that, and good on the teams that are playing them, allowing that to happen too. We've now seen that it can be done, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's a long season, right? It's a long season, and lots of things come up in between, but I'm glad that we've been able to find solutions as they come up through this, so that we can get matches done at appropriate times, and just keep the ball rolling, so that we can get this wrapped up in the appropriate amount of time, and have viewership the entire time. So we're not going to get the viewership in the summer.
Yeah, obviously would have been harder and tougher to justify. It's okay to do if you have the teams that are freewheeling and shooting 1500s. Right, you're coming out, you're 280s, 290s, 330s. You're throwing bombs, right? And that wouldn't be ideal. But I don't think we've had that, and it doesn't look like we're going to right away. Looking at the Mighty Plex, how they started, unless they had gone on an absolute tear. But that would be the worst thing, right? Is that you get a team that gets to freewheel and gets to run their own, do it first, and they can play, and they shot, a monster.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing you want to avoid. And it's not like the teams were doing it on purpose to do that, or they were not doing that on purpose as well. Like, we can't shoot 1500 because that's not fair. Like, they weren't putting any thought into that. They're just throwing their match because they want to be a part of the league still, and they want to be accommodating, and it turned out to be what it is. So
it'd be a wonderful world if we could just automatically show up and throw 1500s, right?
Yeah, exactly. And from what I understand, there will be a couple more pre-recorded matches for our last 2 weeks. So we got to find scheduling to get those done and all that stuff too. But for playoffs, it's live. If you can't play live, you're not playing in it. So you're giving away your prize money if you can't make it. So
those are fairly important dates.
Yeah, exactly. Those need to be played head to head for sure.
Yeah.
You can't have a team not feeling the pressure for the playoff matches.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Dex, about JC's aggressiveness and stuff like that. She's up there. She throws the ball, I wouldn't say like hard, but she's up there and aggressive the whole time, right?
It's got finish. She jumps around. She's like into every shot, and she comes back with aggression too. I think she'd be a really great teammate, honestly.
Yeah.
It's great to see that strength of throwing the ball, right? I mean, we've seen it even in our league nights. You know, my wife is one that doesn't throw the ball hard enough. I mean, Carrie or Julie's the same way.
Yeah.
If you're not throwing the ball hard enough and heavy enough, then it's just bouncing and toppling the corners. But it's very hard to get them to throw it harder and more aggressive. So to have somebody JC's out there throwing and chucking a ball really hard, it's good to see.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun mixed team having her on there. I think she would gel well with like the guys, you know.
Yeah.
The guys play with such aggression, and I think she'd fit in really well with that.
Yeah, you got to throw heat, right? You gotta increase the RPMs and the ball speed. If somebody's out there hopping corners and it bounces off the head pin and you know, skipping in front, it just means you got to throw the ball a bit harder.
Yeah.
Hard to do, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so obviously we don't have the scores adding up for the Timmins Mighty Plucks. They don't have a team total going on. So we'll try and keep up the date for you guys and let them know where they're kind of at. So the match is actually really close still. I think Timmins is up a little bit.
So interesting here,
Timmins
guys.
257.
That Mad Hatters, that Xander, obviously being emergency spare, but he comes right into the anchor position. You know, good spot for him. Thoughts on that? I mean,
he's played anchor quite a bit for the South, so I think he'll be comfortable there. I'm more curious as to why he wasn't on the team to start with. It could be just like personal reasons. I think he's a new dad, so that could have played into it as well. But yeah, he's a great shooter, and he'll be comfortable down there for sure.
And definitely a great add-on, you know, going forward in the league. That hopefully he's one that's on that team. That's
totally,
you know, so
100%.
So Al Paquette pulls himself in the fourth frame after punching another 3-pin.
How was that when you were watching? Yeah.
He was texting me as it was going on. He's like, I suck.
Was it hard to keep that one out of wraps?
Yeah.
Just waiting for your moment. No, you could trash talk him here eventually, but like,
yeah, too funny when he did it.
Now, question there: too much on his mind, being a manager and a player. Is that? I mean, there's a couple of them in the league, right? Bailey Lawson would be the other one. Who else is?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with it, right? Like you got to think about the team. You got to think about your lineup. You got to think about setting up the equipment. You got to there's so much going on for the manager to also get into the match and be the player that you want to be. I think is a tough route, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Even me on the Dream Crushers, I'm not using it as an excuse because I deal with it on the WCBT side so much, but always constantly worrying if all 4 cameras are working for the match and double checking and making sure commentators are getting the feed they need to make the commentary proper, and it's there's a lot going on, and I feel for the player managers. It's a lot to think about.
I don't. They have the option.
Yeah, I mean, on our team we have
I don't
Allison
think they
as
knew
our,
what they were getting into, though, right?
Allison's our
That's
manager.
Yeah.
I sort of help with a little bit of that and a consult, and even that one match, you know, Allison wasn't there, and I wasn't gonna play, but Aaron, remember, showed up late, so I was like, okay, I'm in. It's a lot. I thought that I could, even though that, we'll name Allison the manager, I'm still, making the lineup and doing the stuff, and no, that's hard to do, and you kind of have to let a manager. So it's challenging for sure. A lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Interesting to see next year how things take shape.
Yeah, me too. I don't think you'll see the player manager
No.
very much. Or they'll institute their manager, but they'll have a coach, somebody that'll take care of the team aspect, and they'll take care of the equipment and still play on the team kind of thing.
Good point.
Yeah, totally.
Well, no pregame motivation, setting the lineup, and doing all the stuff. It's it's really hard for somebody to try to do both and be that player manager.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be in the trenches with your team as a player, but then you also got to be in there as a coach in separate roles.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure how Taylor Michelle felt about it with Thunder Bay, but
he'd probably be similar.
Yeah, I think it really affected him, honestly.
So how are we doing here in the match, guys? What's our...
I can't get the last total there for Medicine Hat.
Which one you're looking for?
Bottom. Who's
a 78 in Daryl with a strike? Yeah.
Okay, so with marks counted in, they are 375 after 4.
And 328 for Panorama.
But their marks are not counted.
Right. Yeah, there will be some standardization being added to the rules for sure moving into next season.
As much as we can, right? As much as as much as scoring systems will allow.
Yeah, I think all the scoring systems that we currently have, they're all able to take graphics away. They're able to add their team totals. They're able to add the marks into the totals. Like, these systems are very, what do you want to call it? Manipulatable, right? Not a word, but
let's look that one.
You can manipulate them to do just about everything that we're requiring, right? So it'll take a little bit of work with the proprietors, but I think the proprietors need to be invested in this league as well. You just can't book the lane and say, yeah, you're good. A pro league is in my proprietor center and you do what you want to do. I think they need to be involved. I think it brings promotion to your center as well. And they can add that promotion to these live streams, right?
Well, and their marketing efforts too is promote their team and their community, right? You look at a Heartland, that's what they try to do, you know.
Yeah. Timmins, the same thing, right?
Yeah, you bring some notoriety to these players and these athletes that are out here shooting, and to your center, right? Pro team.
That's right.
I mean, this is professional 5-pin bowling.
Yeah. Gone are the days, I think, proprietors just opening the doors and letting the bowlers take care of their business. That you need to be involved with your bowlers more 100%. So now than ever, right?
And use them to your advantage. Use them in your marketing efforts. Use them on your Facebook posts. Use them on whatever you're doing to help promote your center.
Yeah, more than ever, you absolutely have to build a rapport with your league members, your tournament bowlers. They need to know who you are and honestly enjoy seeing you. Like that makes a huge difference.
Ooh, Derek.
There's a big strike for Derek. He's struggled here the first 4 guys. As we were pumping his tires at the beginning of the game, he probably would have been yanked if there was a pull there for the Mad Hatters, but gets a strike in 5, something to build on.
Mighty Plucks are sitting at 491 after 5 with marks counted in.
491.
He just throws heat too, doesn't he, Xander?
Oh yeah.
Super smooth too, right?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great to see. I mean, obviously, Mad Hatters put up a couple of big numbers. They get themselves up the standings. That's good for them to see.
Totally.
Because they can compete, right? All these teams can compete. Everybody can, right? Obviously, the Mighty Plucks have struggled a little bit. They struggled early on in the year.
Yeah.
When I think we were probably looking at the Mighty Plucks as probably having a really strong team. You know, we again talk about the 8-gamer, and Jess Levine was really high qualifier, right? Absolutely. These guys, Al Paquette, we know can play, right? They were probably one of the teams we were looking at, like, you know, they can play, but really just didn't execute early on in the season. It kind of fell behind the 8 ball, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the hard part with the eight game season, right? You got to make the first
Yeah.
ones count.
491 to 461 going into the last half of this match.
With marks counted in, yep.
Yeah, we'll run the commercial and we'll bring back the last half.
476.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
All right, you said 476, sorry, Dex?
Yeah, they have 3 marks not counted in, so...
Right.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's only 45 points, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
That's only 2 balls, isn't it? 3 balls?
It is. 2 balls, yeah. It's not 20 points a frame? No? Weird.
No.
And there's Larissa, just a little bit off, hey?
Yeah. It's close.
That was a practice swing. I thought that Daryl was going. Or no, that's Eric. Eric Dion that's in now, right?
Yeah, that's Eric Dion.
Right on.
Oh, we got some freezing going on here. Oh, there we go.
Could happen.
That isn't my side. That isn't my side.
How could you even tell?
If you look at the writing at the bottom, the Mad Hatters and Mighty Plucks, if that's crisp, my internet's good. If it's not, that's my internet.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
Looks like a head pin for Jess. David a little bit off too. Looks like Mad Hatter's a little bit off here on their game as well.
Yeah. It's got to be tough for them playing a team that they're not actually playing, right? Like the pre-recorded session, that's got to throw you a little bit, I would think.
Yeah, for sure it is. But you still got to throw your shot. You still got to hit the middle. You still got to make your spares, right? So
yeah, I don't know how much of a difference it would make in my mindset either. Just because, like, I don't know. You never know what a team's going to shoot anyways, right? You still got to go out there and execute your shot and then figure out the rest, especially in this format when you're not, like, side by side. Go out, throw your best shots, move on.
feel like if you could get a lead and get a good start in, then and the other guy's not playing well, you'd have a lot of confidence to know that, well, if he's not playing well to start, it's not like he's going to start throwing a six-bagger.
Yeah,
Whereas in
for
the
sure.
middle of a heated match, you never know. Like, okay, the guy's now he saw me, punch, or give him an opening. Now he's going to go get it, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
all right, Derek gets throw a double here. Called it. So looking ahead to our next game now, if we're looking at the Holy Rollers and the Mad Hatters, Holy Rollers, they got the 1 point last time. They're 7.5 points out now, aren't they, from a playoff spot, or 7 points?
Yeah.
So they're going to need a monster to put themselves into that playoff position with still next gen to come. They have to get ahead of the Bombers in order to lock a spot for themselves, or Bombers will still have a game in hand, but that 7-1 loss is definitely crippling to their playoff chances.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was huge.
That's going to be really tough. Really, really tough. I mean, they can go 8-0 to get back to 500. And you got to think that 500 is... I mean, half the division makes the playoffs, so 500 could be close sometimes, but it's just not going to be.
No, you wouldn't think so. You definitely should have a winning record in order to make a playoff situation.
You'd think it'd have to be.
Yeah.
And there's Daryl.
This isn't the CFL. This is
there's Daryl with the triple, my buddy.
Yeah. So they are at 625 after 6. Marks counted in.
Oh, I accidentally had
do a little pause there. Yeah.
A little pause. See, pre-recorded session. Here, I thought we were good to go.
You got lost in the match.
But look at guys, that top match there's no, like, again, Al and Eric. I mean, they're 98.
Yeah.
Open frame. So Larissa's got a chance here to throw up a couple of marks, Larissa, and
that's a good shot.
Get some points on the board.
Yeah. It's tough when you're struggling, right? Especially when, we keep bringing up you're not playing anybody in your own center, right? You're playing somebody across Canada. You don't really know how they're playing because you're probably not watching the stream at the same time as much as you normally would be watching another player bowling right beside you. But it's got to be tough to gain that drive, right? You don't know where the other player's at. Maybe they're crushing you, or maybe they're 40 pins behind you. You have no idea unless you're watching.
Yeah, it's really just keep new for players to adapt to. You just got to find a way to keep energy within yourselves, and just I think it definitely creates a big focus on team chemistry and how a team could roll together, and finding that lineup where you forget about the scores altogether and you're just trying to throw strike after strike as a team. You stop worrying about the other team completely. It's just a completely different mindset from anything else.
Yeah. When I play like the Open or the Masters or stuff like that, I get a big drive playing against somebody. Playing against nobody is just, I don't know. Like you said, you got to rely on your team to be there and to give you that motivation, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But got to be comforting to know that you're looking up at the scoreboard and, hey, the other team that pre-recorded it, they're not running away with it. I'm right in this match. Like, just throw your shot, right? Trust your shot. Throw a good one. Good things happen to good people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whereas it could be the other way. I mean, Larissa's sitting there with 118 and 7, pulled 3 frames before and getting blown away to somebody's on a 6-bagger.
Totally.
But instead, she's 118-7, and she's ahead by a dozen. There's a big one for Derek, right?
Good for
Veteran
him.
there, bud.
It's a great shot.
63 after 4, and was able to get it settled in. And now he's got a triple. Huge for the team.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah. Keeps them motivated too, right? Even though you're struggling, you got somebody that's running hot. They're probably keeping you in totals some way, somehow. You gotta try and help them.
Oh, Xander almost got the kickback there.
Yeah.
And Daryl down there in the anchor's got triple, so looking for his ham bone. But this match here, so now Derek was able to stabilize his ship, and he's way ahead in his match.
Yeah, exactly. You throw a turkey, and then all of a sudden somebody has a couple of opens, and a match changes so fast.
There's Daryl trying to get a ham bone.
So 602 for Paradise with
Hatters.
25. Yeah, sorry, we have Mad Hatters. Oh, we have 75 still to add in, so 677.
There you go, ham bone.
Ham bone! That looked like it was
boy,
way
great
right.
shot.
Must have had some huge finish on it.
And that puts Mighty Plucks at 751 with marks added in. So about an 80 pin advantage right now.
Yep. But
Doubles not counted in.
Panorama's got an extra strike over him, so
Yep.
can make up some of that pretty quick.
Another chop for Marissa.
Eric's obviously not feeling it. Al wasn't feeling it. It's that leadoff position. It must be tough in Timmins.
Absolutely.
We'll give Al and Eric the benefit of the doubt. Oh, big spare.
So was that a tournament in Sudbury, I believe, that they were playing over there in Ontario?
In Timmins.
Oh, in Timmins they were playing a tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there just
Called
another
the
big
Buddha. I'm not sure what it's about. John Cowan was up there, so it's obviously
people travel.
Yeah.
That's a couple of 2 tournaments back to back. I mean, well, not back to back, but it's, a few weeks apart.
Yeah, I unfortunately don't know too much about it. I'm not sure what it's all about.
Big
I'm
double there for
sure
David.
that it's a memorial tournament for Buddha.
Buddha, sorry, is that somebody that we?
He was a huge influential bowler out of there that sadly passed away a couple of years, I believe, from brain cancer, if I remember right.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he was huge part of that community up there. Owned Buddha Bowl, the bowling alley up there. It was just super awesome dude. Scared the shit out of me at nationals one time. Super funny guy. Big friendly giant.
All right, so Panorama's starting to put the marks together here.
Yeah, Panorama's looking. I mean, they're leading in 1-2. 1's close. 2 is double there. That helps certainly. JC inching along, close in that one. Derek opens on his triple.
Yeah,
Miss
Mark's
anyways.
right. Sorry, Buddha's real name is Renee Godwin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sure, that sounds familiar.
Picks up his spare.
Putting lots of marks together now.
I think Alexander probably fits in that team pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty good community that they have down there too. I'm sure they've played together a lot, so I'm sure he stepped into that pretty easily.
Yeah. All right, Daryl's going for the Yahtzee. Oh God. And that isn't my internet. Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
You got it. All right. So they are at 846. Mark's added in. And they're at
It's
782.
really just that one 5-bagger. Hey, it's making all the difference in the world.
797 is what they're at. So yeah, they made some points back. They're back at 50 points. So match is getting tighter.
Yeah.
Well, Larissa gets the spare in 9.
So there was I don't remember exactly what happened here, but I think it was aces. So Eric's shooting for his corner pins here.
David got the kickback, 12 count.
It's a great count.
Yeah. That spare is pretty big for Larissa up top as well.
Yeah.
So crazy how match play is sometimes, eh?
Yeah, you just the other team. Yeah, you always hope for a chance.
Yeah, and sometimes 128 in 8 with a mark and 9. Sometimes like that puts you right in the match. It's crazy how match play works.
Oh, JC punches.
Just fired up on that one too.
Yeah.
So that leaves Eric with 145 and 9, and
Yeah.
Larissa with 143 and a mark. So definite advantage to her.
We have David at 200 working on a mark.
Yeah.
And no matter what Jess does here, she'll be 189 with a spare maybe. She'll be 11 down. I guess she could have been 4 up if she struck. I always look at frames. I don't know why. Like I always look at 45s. Maybe that's just... I don't look at the ball. I guess I always assume the other person's always going to max out, right? So try and get within that max out. That was always my thought process.
You're just thinking 3 balls, not 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Derek gets
good shot by
tapped.
Derek. That looked pretty flush pocket.
Yeah.
He's in a solid position now in his match.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top 3 matches are kind of all within range, and then the bottom 2 are flip-flop, 2 of them. One is a runaway one way, and one is a run. Well, not even a runaway. Xander's played well, but hard to fight back. Seven strikes in 8 frames.
Yeah. Danielle's kind of built up a lead against JC as well.
Yeah, that double was huge.
Joanne punched again. So yeah, Derek's match is in hand.
What are they, 2-2?
Yeah.
Push. That's a big one.
Thick. There you go.
It was 295 max. But he needs that double for the team total too.
Yeah.
So they have 75 to be added in. So 927 for the Mad Hatters.
And a huge shot here for DG. First six pack we could see today, guys.
Oh, yeah, roasted.
Sure. We still got one double in the middle there.
Yep.
Stops that run, but
Yeah, so they'll each have a double.
There you go. Yeah. So they're one spare ahead going in.
So they're at 968 to 927. And Mad Hatter has one extra spare.
So it's
But with
close.
the doubles, anything could happen.
Yeah. Big 10th frame here.
obviously match is out of the question for Xander. Daryl.
Oh,
There she
shot
goes. That was a big
strike.
count on your spare.
That was really aggressive, too.
Yeah.
That puts her ahead.
He got
Oh.
the strike as well. Eric.
Eric gets one too.
Push.
Oh,
Good shot.
150, 180 max. So Eric needs this one.
Yeah, she had 158 going into 10.
yeah, 188 max.
Oh, okay. Didn't see the 8 there, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he missed to the left. Yeah.
Okay, so a win there for Larissa. Some way to stick into it. Never know.
That's right.
Spare strike was a big difference. Spare strike corner, right? So you're 60 pins and 2 frames that made the difference. And David comes together.
Big
He
shot.
throws a good shot.
Huge marks for the bottom. Huge marks for the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
So Al and Eric combined for 175.
This match is done.
Yeah, punches there, but he threw that first strike is massive on that spare, so great shot.
David doesn't waste any time out there, eh? He's up,
No.
up and going.
He's a Dexter.
Yeah.
Good half there by Jess. She can max out at 202.
Oh, JC. Punch, punch, punch.
Yeah. Missed right, so 192 final for Jess.
His double here is big now, right?
It's massive.
Yeah, what's going to happen for Danielle?
This will determine how much pressure is on Xander at the bottom.
Looks good. Oh, just missed left.
Oh, it's just snapped at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a guy who has already watched this, you could really sell it.
You're assuming I was paying attention.
It's
Tell me
probably
when
best
it's
that you
over.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Derek might just be taking his time, waiting to see, let this one finish, so then maybe it also evens things up for the bottom bowler, right? Knowing what he
Probably
needs.
watching what they're gonna need too.
Yeah.
What Danielle's gonna finish with here, eh?
And without totals counted in, they probably trying to do some calculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully their manager is listening to the broadcast and knows exactly where the scores are, since we've been updating after every frame. Oh, another miss.
Missed right. So 236 final.
Correct.
So they are currently at 1,058. Everything all in, including the spare at the bottom. So, and add in 45 for Mad Hatters. So they'll be at
1,050?
1,020.
1,020, yeah.
So real close down the line, especially with that double.
The left corner first for Joanne. All right, Derek. Mitch.
Oh, 3 pin.
Okay, well, definitely need the points for the bottom. Anything could still happen yet, but definitely need the points at the bottom.
Roasted for another corner. 182 for her.
Kickback. No.
So they are currently at 1,086.
So we're 3-1, 3-2. We're gonna need and the spare in hand. So I don't know if he even gets enough because he's got another 90. Well, 135 he gets because his 45 is not added
So
in.
they're at 990 with 135 up there, yeah. So Daryl,
And there's a strike for Daryl. Big game for Daryl.
Yeah, he's played great.
Punch or 7 count.
Power chop.
Chop.
So we're going to see a 5-3.
So they're at 1126, I believe, is their final total.
So it's 5-3 for who there, Daryl?
5-3 for Timmins.
Timmins, Mighty Plucks.
Yeah, 1126.
341 for Daryl. That's a huge.
Yeah, that's a big difference
Massive,
maker there.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
We got our player managers coming back into. We'll bring him in here right away. Hey Al, how's it going?
On the road again. Hey, we're doing well, boys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good, buddy. Doing good.
Talk to me at the beginning of the match. You guys asked me for my lineup. That was it.
Well, we thought you were going back to the show. We didn't want to.
Nah. That's all good, boys. It's all good.
You want to give away any hints about how good your team was that game or something? Or how good your play was? Or what?
Oh, yeah.
Did we forget to ask that part or what?
Oh, man. It's so awful. And I knew it. I jinxed myself, too. I said I was throwing bombs in practice like nothing. And every time I had a good practice, I bowl like shit. And it was just awful. So
you should just stop practicing.
But that was like just kind of. I've been trying to follow the match a little bit here, kind of on the road as we're doing this. So trying to follow the match, and, like, would I have pulled myself after 3 or 4 frames, knowing Larissa was kind of like struggling at the beginning as well? Trying to make those decisions. Big impact when you're kind of pre-reporting when you're not knowing what's going on the other side. So, but it is what it is. It worked out in our favor this match. We didn't bowl great by any means. Daryl carried us to the finish line there. Danielle had a much better game than she's had throughout this season. So hopefully build up her confidence as well.
Totally.
Hey, we'll take a 5-point win. Yeah. That's 2 wins in a row as the home team.
Yeah, is that? Do we have confirmation, guys, that is the fastest pull we've had this year? For Al?
It might be. I don't know.
It might be the fastest pull, right?
We'll have to double check that.
When you go 7 and 8 counts in like 2 of the first 3 frames, when you go and plug another 3 pin up, I told everybody on the team that everybody's basically got 4 frames because we weren't bowling anybody, right? So I'm like, hey, everybody's got 4 frames. Figure your crap out, and and go from there. And then lo and behold, it was myself. So as soon as I cherried in the third frame, I looked back and I think I had a little shrug, laugh, whatever. And I looked at Eric. I'm like, "You're in, buddy." I said that was the rule, and manager, player, whatever is, part of the rules too. So I just yanked myself. So.
Yeah.
And we almost got the win there too, I think, right? It was a pretty close finish, like 180, 175 or something like that. Like
Larissa was able to hang on.
So,
for you, Linda, would it? Like, I mean, if you had a spare, I mean, there was multiple options you put again, and we talked about Derek after his first four frames, but then he able to get it together. Larissa obviously struggled a little bit. What was going through your mind here as that game's going along?
Well, it would have been tough to pull one or the other because both the girls were struggling. Like the head pins and the rights and then misses. And so, yeah, I don't know.
Well, it was good to see, obviously, Larissa stayed in it, and that was the thing. That, that the other team has already made their pull. He's still struggling, so just stay with it, Larissa, and good things will happen if you just keep throwing your shot down near the end. And sure enough, she stuck it out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and JC Lee was throwing well, just kept punching. It is kind of the way the game is, right?
But, oh well.
And solid pickup with Xander. Obviously, he looked like he fit in well with the team and throwing an anchor position that wasn't a stranger to the teams and throwing the heat. So that was a good pickup there. Obviously, comfortable playing.
Yes, very much. Well, we all five, well, 4 of the 5 are in the same Thursday night mixed league, plus myself. So yeah, we all know each other pretty good.
Yeah,
so he fits in.
That's good. That's good to see.
Al, do you want to just give us a quick shout out to the tournament you had there today? The Buddha Invitational, was it?
Yeah, we had the Buddha Invitational tournament in Zilda at Arnie's place, Whitewater Lanes.
Awesome.
You guys don't know who Buddha is. It's Rene Godin. He's a big part of Masters and Open and stuff like that. He was a great guy, and he unfortunately passed away 5 years ago after a bout with cancer. So he had his own bowling alley back in the day, and he always kind of wanted to run like a fun kind of cash event. So Jason Remmerswall kind of took the reins there and created something on his behalf, I guess, and in his memory with the Godin family.
Awesome. Yeah, he was a gem of a guy. A giant of a man, but a gem of a dude, and it was that was a big loss to the community out there.
He's the best dude, and this is a really good weekend that we look forward to every year to go to. It's literally like one qualifying shift and a match play on Sunday. It's quick, but it's fun. Like, talk to the guys that show up, and they all had a good time last night. I'm sure there's a few stories. Daryl Gauthier being one of them. So. Surprised he might have showed up late for the match play this morning, but anyway.
Whoops.
Well, that's good. That's good. The stories are what it's about, right? But glad there was running, and glad we could make this work.
All right. Well, we'll let you go, Al. And
thanks for the match, Al.
Yeah, he's somewhere in the travel.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
Try not to rock that.
We'll bring you back for your next match here, Linda.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
See you then.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
All right, we have the last match of week 14 here. We have the GP Holy Rollers versus the Panorama Mad Hatters. Let's bring our managers in here right away. So from the GP Holy Rollers, we have Gerald Hafner. Welcome back to the show, Gerald.
Thanks.
Our other managers in the back, not ready, but so you had already posted your lineup. How's GP feeling with that game break, Gerald? I know that was a hit or miss topic on the podcast, so let us know how it is.
What was the question?
How's the team feeling? Team feeling with a game break?
Team's feeling really good. You know, they are. They're all positive. I'm making a couple changes, obviously, but it wasn't because they bowled bad. I might have dropped the ball on. I thought Corey's match was closer, and I'm a little tired, so I think if there was going to be a pull, it might have been that one at the time. But yeah, what do you do? You're only human, right? So it was a tough one.
So the bar is open. I see the 5-pin Bruniverse in the back. That was probably a key transition for the game. So guys in good spirits. Yeah.
Having this hour break in between your matches after that kind of a tough loss to start, not necessarily a bad thing now that after even though you complained about it on podcast.
Whatever, Dexter. I'm just kidding, but no, it's all good. These guys are all ready to go. They've been chucking balls here for the last half hour, 45 minutes, ready to go, right? So, we're not just going to lay down and die and wait for next year to start again, right? We're going to go out with a bang and hopefully position ourselves, right? So, and they're all excited. So that's where we're at. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll bring in our other manager here, Linda, for the Panorama Mad Hatters.
Linda.
How's it going, Linda?
Good morning. How are you? Long time no see.
I think she's talking to you, Gerald.
Oh, not
Yeah.
sorry. I know. I guess I saw you in Stellar, didn't I, Linda?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's going. I'm old. Okay.
So here we have a bit of a match of the North versus the South.
Yeah.
Any side wager? Any fighting words that we want to throw out there? Maybe not a side wager, but we don't condone that here.
We don't condone that here.
At least a little bit of fighting words, and I'll see you at the Open, or we're gonna get you, or any of this stuff. Some trash talk.
But of course, it's personal. We both know that. But I mean, it's all in good. It's all in good faith and fun, and we'll be cranky at the end if they beat us, but they won't beat us. So we're going to come out banging like we did last game and set these guys straight early. So
Okay, we'll take the challenge.
no, you won't. That wasn't a very good rebuttal. Come on, you can do better than that.
Yeah.
Do we want to go with our matches? GP, I know you said you made some switches here, Gerald. Do you want to lay out your...
I'm starting with Robert again, and Michelle's going to stay in there. Carter's coming in third, Sean in fourth, because that's just where he belongs. And we're going to bring Danny Stewart in and get him going. He's been chucking a lot of balls with throwing strikes. And Scott's going to wait on the bench, and Corey's going to sit out this game.
On Thursday, I had like 6 cards.
And Linda, what are you going with?
Okay.
David, JC, Larissa, Derek, and Xander.
Carter just put his hands
Bring it
up.
on, Larissa.
Bring it on, Larissa, Carter says.
Okay.
We need to get the players in there to do the more trash talk.
Holy
That's right.
Hey, let's see some fist pumps out there. I want to see some into the cameras, looking back in the camera.
Okay, all right.
Right?
We were doing that.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Hauck is on the bench, is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's waiting to come in.
That's too bad. The biggest chirper is on the bench.
Right? Oh, he's just grinning here. Here he comes.
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to go.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Stick to golf, bud. Stick to golf.
I just wanted to get a point. He won't let me go.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well, good luck, guys. Have a great match.
Good luck to you, Linda. Yeah. Have
You
fun.
too.
Good.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.
Holy Rollers, Mad Hatters.
Let's go.
Gerald did all his trash talking on Wednesday. The trash talk must come out after like 5 fireballs or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Great group of
All
people,
right.
though. Great communities
Yeah.
overall. I mean, that's what this league's all about, is bringing the community together, right? The GP Holy Rollers, solid people. Same with the Mad Hatters. We'll be seeing them again here in a few weeks at the Open Provincials. So a little bit of bragging rights here between this match. Obviously, not a ton in the standings, but still important to put up a good show and a good match.
Yeah, you're right. But both places have such great communities, and you've really seen them take off in the last couple of years. It's awesome to see. It's nice seeing a whole bunch of younger people from both places starting to take up the game and take it seriously, and it's going to start paying dividends here soon.
This game takes work, though, doesn't it? Like, it's not. I mean, you can't just throw a few balls and think you're going to have it for forever. It's a lot of work and a lifetime of work and pressure situations and all different types of shots. I mean, it's just. There you go. There's Michelle. Or that was Tompkins with his bump look into the camera. I love it. Let's see it. And you really just got to keep pounding the middle, right? Hit the middle as many times as you can. Once you start missing and losing some sticks and losing some pinning, that's where the fatigue and the mindset starts to go a little bit negative, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you see a lot more punches up there. You see like JC is still punching up there, but that's just a product of hitting the middle more, you know.
Yeah, I'm fine with
averages
punches.
and-
I mean, overall, I'm fine with punches. I mean, obviously, you want to be on the side a little bit. At least you're hitting. You got to keep shooting.
Good shot by Larissa. So Michelle will be in this game all the way through, with Corey being the 7th player this game and unavailable. So,
Interesting. Gerald said there about looking at the game and maybe making a poll. I don't remember exactly when that time would have been to make the poll of Corey. I think we had talked about it at one point, guys, when there was the 3 misses and then she went through the hole. But
Yeah.
I don't recall after that if it continued on or if we mentioned of it again.
I know
that
she
needed to.
threw a strike in 5 and then opened 6 again. So it was tough for Gerald, right? Like she was throwing marks every second frame. So makes it
just
tough
had a
to-
hard time hitting the middle.
And she was playing Mike,
Yeah.
too, who Mike wasn't running away with it, right? Until later on, I think Mike threw the double in 7-8. Or was it 8-9, right? So,
Yeah, that's right. 8 and 9.
but,
he threw the
knowing your
double.
bench and knowing Carter was there probably would have been a time to make a poll. But good for him to learn and to look. And, the team obviously still supports him.
Yeah,
And,
100%.
Mistakes are made.
Yep. Part of the game.
Yeah, all you can ever do is just make the best decisions you can at the time, right? What you feel is right at the time. You can't go back and regret making a change or not making a change. You just got to do what feels right at the time and roll with it. And at the time, if it didn't feel like he should make that pull, then that's okay. You got to trust it. The second you start second guessing all your choices, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you gotta have confidence as a manager. It doesn't matter what situation you're put in. You gotta do every pull, every decision you make, lots of confidence, right? Just like Kaplan.
Yeah. He's had a lot of confidence in all his pulls.
I don't. Managers of the year? How do we. I can't win that.
Never made a bad pull in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great lineups. He set great lineups, though.
Well, early on in the year, I remember we were chirping him about the lineups, actually. But then it managed to learn from that, I think.
Oh, pins everywhere for Danny. Gets the 12 count. Yeah.
We're just waiting to see what it actually turned out to be.
Oh, David's just up there rocking. They're not done their frame.
It could be certainly tough, though. I mean, talking about Kaplan and Paradise, when they do get to playoffs and they do have a full roster, what does the lineup look like, and when does the pull situation come into play?
Absolutely.
You haven't been in the mix of that, of having to make that pressure pull or having to deal with anything, right? And now all of a sudden it's thrust upon you. You might have a guy, pulling an Al Paquette here in the first 4 frames that, hey, you got to make a decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Just throwing that shade towards Curtis to make him think.
You think for the playoffs, they're going to make sure they have a spare, or do they want to take that away from Curtis?
Yeah, exactly, maybe.
Yeah.
And as an emergency spare.
His first pull is going to have to be in playoffs. Ooh, there's some pressure there.
Yeah.
And some eyes.
Yeah.
Right. Melinda, likely back here maybe in a few weeks.
Yeah.
What do you do there? Bobby Kite's likely back. Rob Wolfson's likely back.
Yeah. I mean just unfortunate timing. Robbie's daughter is in YBC Provincials here at up here in Edmonton, and Bobby's got the Rona. So
yeah,
but you got these 2 shooters. You got Bobby and Rob coming back. They're both legit players.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Rob coming off an amazing Regina win. You got to think he's in the lineup.
Absolutely.
So and you just had Mark Miller and Brian Hurst throw big games for you.
Yeah.
You got Tracy's obviously in there. So does that mean Mike maybe is the one that comes in off the bench? I don't know what Mike looks like on the bench. I mean, we're just spitballing here, right?
Yeah.
Melinda, or do you have one of them, or do you have the extra female in there to be able to make the sub? Right, Melinda's played great this year.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, she was huge. Yeah, she played really well for them.
All kinds of questions facing the Paradise Marvel as they go into playoffs. Wow.
So, question for playoffs and the roster setting. Is each game, can you set a different lineup with who's available and who is unavailable, or is it for the entire 2-3 game match?
No,
each game.
Each game is your roster set, so you can make a roster change in between your games. For the people that don't know the playoff setup, so 2 plays 3 inside the division, and it's just a 1-game match, and then whoever wins that moves on and plays team number 1 in the division. That's a 2-game match, total points. So 16 points available for the 2-game match. And then the winners of each division move on another week, and they play a 3-game total points match. So obviously 24 points available in that as well.
If there's
not
tie,
pinfall, points.
No, points. Yeah.
But if there is a tie, then at least for the 2-game match, it'll go to pinfall, right, Carrie? Because if there's a tie in points, it's going to be 1 win, 1 loss anyway. So both of them. So that would go to pinfall.
Yeah.
For the 3-game matches, that will be
wins and
points?
losses.
Wins, losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then if that, well, obviously that can't be a tie. Well, it technically could be a tie. If that ends up in a tie some way, somehow, then that goes to pinfall as well.
Yeah,
4-4, actually,
5-3.
I think there is a roll-off situation, but that'll be discussed with the league before we move into playoffs specifically. But that's how it's set up at this point in time. We want to make it as exciting as possible, right? For these last few weeks.
What about first week in playoffs? It's a 4-4. Is it the team that wins total?
No, there's a roll-off.
There is a roll-off.
I know that there is a roll-off in the rules.
If it's a 4-4, because there's only 1 game, so it's only based on...
That's right. And you designate a player for the roll-off. And I think it's a 9-10 roll-off, like frames 9 and 10 roll-off.
Wow. It's like a shootout.
Yep.
Fun.
but that's just for the 2-3 match. The division championship is will be a different tiebreaker scenario. So see these guys getting off to a good start here.
And both divisions played on same day, or no, they're not. They're obviously on the 2-3, the rerun.
So 2-3, the whole division plays on 1 week. The next division plays the next week, and then the league championship is the third.
So there's 3 games. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which division plays first, Rusted Petal or Cargill?
I think Cargill does. Rusted Petal will get the back-to-back weeks because we'll have a break in there because of the Open.
Right.
JC can't buy a strike. Just getting into the pocket and still can't get strikes. Kind of looks like a little bit like Heidi out there, Daryl.
Yeah. She got to go in the last couple of games, but
much better. Yeah,
she's and Heidi means she's to her defense. She's thrown a great shot over and
absolutely.
over, but just very, very thick.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy watching her play this, watching her throw corner after corner after corner, and she throws the ball so well and just not getting rewarded. And then she'll come in Sunday night, a couple hours later, and shoot 1,200.
Yeah.
It's crazy what an inch and a little bit of rotation does.
Yeah, just very little bit. I mean, we know the guys, the margin of difference between each shot is less than a millimeter at times, and very small finger rotation on it, and just a little finish that just it becomes a little bit flatter and thicker.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good shot by Larissa there. Great shot by Derek. It's just so effortless.
Yeah.
Like how he gets it out in the lane too,
right?
Yeah. I'm sure if that
shooter.
guy wanted to throw it hard, Carey, that guy could throw it hard. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the wingspan. That's for sure. Great shot by Carter too. Let's see if Xander can double it up here.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Pin side.
That's got to be one of the harder balls that we see out in the tour, eh, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, and Xander hasn't even been playing on tour here for a couple of years. Obviously, like Dex is saying, new father and stuff like that. But yeah, he can throw the ball.
Good shot by Sean there. Nice little slider. But again, it's not labored speed, and I think that's the important thing. It's okay to throw the ball hard, but you don't want to like throw it hard for the sake of throwing it hard. You want it to be natural with some fingers on it. And I think Xander does a great job of that. That's where you're so good too, Carey. Is like your speed is natural. It's not labored to throw it hard.
Yeah. Well, that's all you want, right? Like if you're gonna play an 8-game tournament or something like that, you don't want to be
hurting
gassed
yourself
after game 2.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh man.
And David, from a bocce style, he's probably one of the smoothest players that I've seen throw it that way.
Yeah, he throws it really well that way.
There's some other guys out there and ladies out there. It looks like their hip is going to pop out of place every time they shoot. Cindy.
Robert, another point.
Good shot. She got one.
Whoa! Where's the point to the camera?
Here you go, getting some. It's a good match.
Yeah, things are starting to roll.
Lots of marks. Yeah,
a little bit looser, aren't they? Right?
Yeah. Good shot.
sounds like everybody's having fun at both centers too, right? Even though it's good to have fun. Got to be competitive, but it's good to have fun. That's the most important. Bowling is fun.
Absolutely.
I hope they're happy to be a part of the league and have. It may not have had the seasons that they were really hoping for, but you still got to show face. You got to be competitive and have a good time out there.
Hey, we put together a league where you have the best players from each location playing. They're going to be tough teams no matter what. Sometimes it's just how it goes in the day, and that's kind of how you win or lose a season. It's just quick individual matches. There's no shame in losing to some of these teams, that's for sure.
But got to put your best foot forward and believe that you can be part of that.
Absolutely.
And Holy Rollers were absolutely in the mix. They were competitive, right? Yep. And we know that the Mad Hatters can be. They've got a solid team there, right? Keep working, and they will keep working. A couple of fine tuning adjustments here and there, but yeah, man, these are all good teams.
But you see them watching the Mad Hatters right now, and like they're stringing a bunch of marks together, and it's just I'm imagining that they're playing a lot more loose right now.
I think that's the thing, right? Dex is that we talked about earlier is the experience and playing in pressure situations, and when they get into where they got to play a big match, whether they're playing Dream Crushers or they're playing the Paradise Marvel or playing Toppler, Bombers, or whoever the big names, if you will. The pressure gets to you, right? And you gotta rise to it, and you learn from it.
You got to find a way to just put that aside and put those nerves aside and just go back to just freewheeling and throwing your shot, and that's what this is about. You're just learning how to do that too. Just every little bit of extra experience is worth everything. Is Elon letting you down there, Kerry?
A little bit here and there. He's struggling. That solar flare a few weeks ago really hurt him. Took out a few satellites.
They've been moving the satellites around too, right?
Yeah, they're trying to help out our friends in the Ukraine.
Right? That's right. Yeah.
I'll get a personal phone call in there to Elon and let him know that the Pro League is hitting playoffs here soon.
Fire him a text. Yeah. Fire him a text.
Good half by David there.
How about the PGA Tour, guys? What a messy schedule that's been this weekend, hey?
They're hoping to finish today. I don't
tomorrow.
Know how they're going.
They know they're going to be a Monday finish, but they're today playing, and
they're out at 6 a.m.
with like snowsuits and toques and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, would not want to play yesterday though. They're of course making the joke. What would a scratch golfer shoot at this TPC Sawgrass? 130. You wouldn't even finish. The guys are saying, "Would you hit the green on 17?" No, they'd empty their bag.
Yeah. What a change of shots! That first shot by Robert was just launched and lost.
Push.
And the second shot was absolutely burned. I love the thumbs up.
Yeah, and now a few of our viewers are probably watching the PBA right now. They're having the World Championships on Fox right now.
Yeah.
Jason Belmonte's in the mix with Chris Prather.
That's a neat format and neat to see, right? Like all these bowlers are 10-pinners. They're just like 5-pinners, when they're moving about their business and going from lane to lane. They just might have a little bit more of a celebrity status and obviously playing for a higher prize pool. But at the end of the day, they're bowlers, right? We're bowlers and we move about our day in business. And, sometimes their lanes aren't full. They just have cameras around.
I think the big difference that I've heard between 5-pin and 10-pin is the partying. 5-pin, there's like way more partying than there is in 10-pin.
Oh yeah,
drastically.
They're playing for their paycheck, right? So
you
don't want to be
totally. But even like younger, like Marty Luopa used to play both, right? And he'd come out to the 5-pin events and we'd all party, and then he'd go to the 10-pin and like everyone just kind of hangs out in the hotel room and goes to sleep. And then like, oh man, where's the drinking? Where's the party? But it is. You're right. I mean, like a large part of us take it very seriously, and it is definitely a job where you're trying to make money and win events and stuff like that on tour. But there's definitely people that find a different sort of balance with that, where they might party a little bit more than the others, and in 10 pin it's just you're playing for your money all the time. So.
Yeah.
Carter with the film. Carter, yeah, flex, yeah. Gotcha. What's Sean gonna do now if he throws a triple?
We need a crotch chop up there.
Pete Weber.
Yeah.
Pete Weber. Oh,
Commentator's
curse.
He was ready for something, right? Let's go streaking. Biggest question: are we going to have the average Joes in the league next year, or the average pros?
Average pros.
So they're in. They're signed up. They want. They want a piece.
And I know they can play, and I know they're going to take it seriously, and I know they can play, but I also think that they'll be super entertaining.
Yeah, they can play, and it's good.
Just have Danny finishing up his last throws here in the 5th frame, and then we'll jump into our commercial and bring you the last half of today's show for the last match.
Get the kickback.
So Mad Hatters are at 5:31 with the marks in.
Yep.
So if he grabs a spare, it's going to be neck and neck.
There you go. 5:31 to 5:52. Pretty close. All right. We'll run our sponsors and then we'll be right back last half.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centres across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
All right, last half of the day. It's close.
Here we go.
5:52 to what was it, Dex?
5:31.
5:31.
So we had a question there from Aaron regarding who are the average pros, Joes. That's a bunch of guys and ladies in our Sunday night in Sherwood Park league that have joked all year long. And we had a podcast with them a number of months back. A bunch of guys that are fringe players that are putting together a team that definitely want to be getting in. So it's exciting. People putting some interest together, and I know Aaron, obviously you out of Brandon, and got some interest of some teams and people want to play, and it's good to see any teams that might be interested. And I know Brett Hendrickson was putting some lists together. Winnipeg players last week. It's kind of neat to see some of those names on there.
What a shot by Robert there. I don't know what ripped down that right tupid, but it went.
Forward.
I can't remember what podcast number it was, Aaron, but there was a podcast with them on it, and you'll get to see their personalities and how much fun they are. But there's also a few of them on that team that just don't get to play any of the big events very often, so they're just not well known. Scott Rice is if that guy played events,
yeah,
he would be up there. He throws the ball so well, it's so consistent. Yeah, he always gives me a run for my money on Sundays, and just some people that don't have the same amount of exposure, but are lighthearted and fun, and still want to take it seriously.
Yeah. There's lots of teams out there that want in, so we're gonna have to look good, hard, and deep, and find out what these teams will bring to the league and stuff like that. Because we can't expand the 40 teams. We got to be, unfortunately, a little selective if we get too many teams involved. So, so if you're a team that wants in, put together a package on what you can do to help the league and what your team will bring to the league and stuff like that, and maybe we'll do a judge, or what do you want to call it? The Canadian 5-pin bowling idol or something? I don't know. You'll be judged.
Auditions. We need to have auditions. If we don't know all the players, we need to have auditions. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely an opportunity for teams to get in. It's just, like you said, Kerry, we're not going to 40 teams. Expansion is definitely happening, and there's still lots of stuff to decide. I mean, we're not at that point. We've talked about roster increases. We've talked about the franchise fee increases. We've talked about East-West. We've talked about 12 to 15 league games. We've talked about match days. We've talked about lots of stuff, but nothing's in writing. It's all floating right now.
Definitely need to expand. We got to balance expansion to make sure that we don't grow too big too quick, and that it's too much for people to manage. So we got to find the right balance. So there's going to be some discussion. That's for sure.
Number one is obviously we got some people interested in being commissioners and stuff like that. So I think we kind of got that under wraps. We'll be figuring that out. But it'll be technical directors. If you know somebody that's willing to put in some time to run the broadcasts and stuff like that, just need a computer and some decent internet. We can teach you how to do it, a little cash on the side, and help promote this 5-pin bowling thing that we got going on, right? We're going to need some help with that. So more so than just needing teams, we need people behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, right, Kerry? Is you've been sort of the only one, if you will, that has set up the cameras at all the centers and all the matches and all the stuff, right? Running the back end software packages of it, whether you've been a commentator or not, you've always been the one setting up all the cameras and making sure that goes. So that's something that we'll have to, stretch to more people across the country. So there's not just one person doing it, whether it's you even being part of that or being head of that. And there's 4 other people or 5 other people, rotation, there's schedules, there's commentators as well. We've sort of just gone week to week, sort of a couple weeks out. Hey, who's doing it? Get some fill-ins, but we've got some good people that have contributed for sure this year. Yes. The formality of things will need to be a little bit more fine-tuned and scheduled in place across the board next year. And there's honorariums and there's lots of stuff that'll go into it. But
we're looking at, like you said, increasing franchise fees, bringing more sponsors into it to help cover those honorariums and technical directors and all that stuff. So there is a cash flow side of it that we are really investing a lot of time in figuring out. So hopefully we'll be able to get information out to the masses and get this thing rock and rolling and get it all pre-planned, right?
Yeah, and a bigger board of directors or a bigger, team ownerships. Maybe eventually it becomes a players association. Like how big does this get? down the road that, we need to brainstorm about the things we need to do for it. It's not all going to be solved day one, year one, year two, year four, but we're going to get there, and we want to continue to build this. So, yeah, if you've got some ideas or interest or thoughts or whatever, reach out to 5-Pin Universe, and we'll have conversations.
Yeah, 100%. I've probably had 25 messages about teams across Canada that want in on this. And it's
Wow.
like, yeah, well.
That's good. We'll just start making a list of thinking about who, right?
Yeah. And we got to make sure that everyone's coming back from this year yet, too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. 25 teams. There's lots of interest. We've been able to build something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Supply and demand. Lots of demand. That means that we're going to increase prices. Everybody, you want in?
Yeah. Simple economics.
Yeah. Right.
Look at this. Carter's got a 4. Hey.
Yeah, he's rolling.
He was really taking it seriously about
Let's see the fist pump. What are we going to get from Carter? Of course we make notice to it, hey?
Yeah. Slowly pulling away a little bit here.
Yeah. Bylaw officers, statisticians, technology people, commentators. Maybe there's 2 shows going on at once, right?
We need a head of player safety.
Yeah. There'll be lots of things that we'll brainstorm and put some titles to it so that everybody can spread it out a little bit.
Yeah. Marketing will be a big one too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting more sponsors. Like, I know we love the sponsors we have right now. Obviously, this wouldn't be a thing without them. But maybe we'll have 6 different sets of commercials throughout the show instead of rotating the same sponsors through all 6 commercials and stuff like that. Or maybe it'll be a 4-match show, or there's a lot of things to build, and more input the better too. If people have ideas on how to improve some stuff, please let us know.
Absolutely.
Aces.
Wow.
Aces for Sean.
And that was buried left side. Wow. How does it feel to be on the other side of that, Kerry?
Yeah. I still feel bad about it.
Xander missed the middle and almost got a chop out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looks like Robert's got a pretty good lead in the one spot there, and JC's got a decent lead in the second spot there. Carter's up 50 on Larissa.
Derek's ahead in his, obviously.
Yeah, Derek's got a lead there too. That ace is definitely hurt. Yeah. And then so the matches are really kind of back and forth.
It was a heavy ball too, Danny.
Currently look like a 6-2 split right now for the Holy Rollers, but still 135 points for each player available in the last 3 frames, so could change quickly.
Holy Rollers need 8, don't they?
Yeah, they need a sweep to really.
Well, they need an 8 to get ahead of the Bombers.
Yeah.
Bombers still have a game in hand.
Yeah.
So it sounds like GP is going to be making their change. Scott will be going in for Sean.
Okay.
And just probably get Scott to throw in some balls there. I mean, obviously, Sean punch left corner aces aren't terrible balls, just more.
No, exactly. The left is a good shot. The aces was a good shot. It's just not working out for him.
Yeah, and get Scott in for the last game.
Yep.
There you go. Good thumbs up.
2 of them. Oh,
we see you, Robert. We see you.
Oh, just missed. Yeah, David, after that big strike in 2 there, he's got nothing but letters and... Michelle strike.
Michelle gets it, puts a little pressure.
Yeah, that could bring the match a little bit closer, that's for sure.
Ooh, just missed it.
Good shot by Carter.
Yeah. Scott taking the practice slide. Veteran move. Move.
Don't go sticking up there first
That's
ball,
right.
Scotty. Scotty Llama.
But the second he does that, he can't look down afterwards and be like, oh, what happened?
Oh, I definitely would check my shoe if I miss. Check it. Aw.
He knows that we're just chirping him too, right? I love Scotty because he's one of the best at the chirps and always gives it out. So,
Yeah. There's that.
Oh, I thought he almost got the
that was
3
close.
So I mean, they need him. They need that spot to come and steal that match. They're looking to go an 8-0 here.
Yeah.
That obviously doesn't come in and get the job done, Scott. But you got 2 frames to go to come and do what you can. Derek can really take a strangle here.
Derek can really kind of
Put it
slam the
almost
door
over.
here. Yeah.
Oh, on a corner, big count though.
Yep.
So you got Scott and Sean max 234. So run them out of points.
Good job by Danny. Yeah. It's a big spare.
Beer frame.
What do you know?
Tough one for Scott. Comes in, has to buy a round for the team. That's
There you
a rough
go.
Good thing they're freshly stocked with Brunoverse.
That's right.
Got it, Xander. All right, we're going to see Robert go for the ham bone now.
That's right. Must be hitting my data limit here. We're getting some bad internet again.
Coming on a 3-hour mark.
Yeah. That Elon is tough to get a hold of when you really need to.
I can't believe you don't have his direct cell phone number.
You know what? If I hit him up on Twitter, I probably have a better chance of getting a hold of him.
Yeah, sure,
He's a big Twitter guy.
Yeah. Hey, the 5-pin Pro League in Canada is looking for some additional
better
data.
bandwidth. Yeah.
No, you never know. Maybe he's a big bowling fan.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he'll be our sponsor that we need.
That's right. Send us a satellite.
Yeah,
He can
Starlink.
he can certainly afford the sponsorship.
Yeah.
Good half, Robert. Good cover.
JC just
That's a
could
tight
never
run. So
get
that
anything
match
going.
comes back into play a little bit.
She got that double in like 3 and 4, and then
She's got 175. What's she got there? The one was into the
This
190s.
will be a big shot from Michelle.
Yeah. Oh.
corner.
That's a good ball. Seen more taps this match than we have in the other two, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, 130, 170, 215 max for Michelle. 140, 170.
Yeah. And JC Max at 231.
Yep.
See, that's where that 16 makes a difference.
That's right.
Now that means it's just a double. It's not a, or you don't need the
It's a
double.
one
You
ball.
need the strike spare.
Double there for Carter, but we didn't get to see his flex.
No. There you go, Scotty.
He's hold that
held
shot.
It too.
Hold that shot, Scotty. Yeah.
Surprised his leg didn't give out. Another great frame by
170, 190.
GB.
Yeah. Oh, Danny's feeling it. He's throwing the ball.
Yeah, I'm thinking they would have wanted that second half of that game back against Paradise, hey?
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Maybe it was a change for Danny to bring in for Corey, but hey, that's hindsight's 2020. Who knows? Paradise also took off on you guys, so
Yeah.
hard to sort of say that would have been a difference maker or not. Good shot.
All right. Big 10th frame here. Look at my internet now.
Oh,
Way to go, Elon.
he's listening.
Yes.
He must be a fan.
Sponsor. I think he's in for the sponsorship we just asked for.
Yeah. Oh, and there she goes. Spoke too soon.
So 853 with 60, so 853, 913.
210.61.
Yeah, so big advantage to GP at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they say early on. Oh yeah. Good game. Tompkins.
Yeah,
These guys can play, man. They can play.
he
They're there.
is a phenomenal shooter. Just has to make sure he doesn't break an ankle.
Yeah, that's right. So match 2 and match 4 are the ones that they need to claw in somehow to get that 8-0 in order for them to pass the Bombers.
Yeah, you're really sitting there looking at a hope for JC and Derek to just give me a chance.
Yeah.
And of course, the Bombers are sitting there thinking, just close one of those doors.
Yeah. Crushers were hoping that too, but maybe GP wants to be a spoiler twice.
Well,
here.
what's with Robert now?
Oh yeah, not a problem.
Unbelievable.
Conspiracy theories start.
That's right. That's right.
Wouldn't that be something? GP plays double spoiler in 1 week. Obviously, Bombers still have their own life in their own hands. That's nothing to take away from them. But what goes through the thought process if you're all of a sudden you get passed by the Holy Rollers and now you only need a point, but it's just
you need a point.
You
still need a point. Yeah. Oh yeah. Which one of you 5 are you looking at? That who's going to get it?
Yeah.
You get it. I'm not getting it. Y'all get it. No, you get it. Who's on first?
I think that's where the first time I would start matching other teams. Like, I don't know whether you're home or away, but I think that would be the first time you'd be like, okay, I'm going to put this person against this person because I think that's my best opportunity, sort of thing.
Daryl, you're going against Kelsey.
I don't think she's the person you want to call out.
I was just picking somebody there, buddy. So.
She'll go back and listen to that.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
And of course, you've got a defender.
I'm just saying. She loves that shit though. She loves that kind of pressure.
Well, she's usually in the easy spot in the 3-hole where I usually go. So
that's huge.
Things might line up anyways.
There's one of them, Daryl.
Wow, there it is.
They just need the 4 spot now.
Wow. And it's coming down to Hauka.
So he can bang out for 234. They're already at 205.
Good job, Michelle. There you go.
That's huge.
So Derek needs to open in order for Scott to bang.
And Hauka's got to bang out.
I think Derek's waiting for this one again. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's...
Yeah, he's just going to sit back and relax and wait.
He's going to watch.
But remember what he did last time, though, Derek? You did this last time, and he threw a 3-pin out of the weight. Don't wait, man. Get up and throw.
Oh, he's going. You convinced him, Daryl.
Good. Okay. Good. Let's go, D. Come on. No, here we again have active commentators cheering for a team.
Rooting.
I just can't believe someone's actually back there listening to our rhetoric.
Come on, Derek. Come on, Derek.
No, he put it to rest for Daryl.
Thanks, buddy. I owe you a drink at the Open. Yeah.
Oh, man. But still a huge match for GP, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But they can play, and they're going to be right in the mix and right in. I mean, does that get them ahead of Next Gen?
Oh, yeah, they're ahead of Next Gen already. But
so now Next Gen's got 2 games in hand, or they got 3 games left.
They have 3 yet.
Yeah, so chances of them getting 6 points or whatever the numbers are going to be, that's going to be.
Yeah. Well, that's what we thought too, and it happened.
That's true. 3 points out of 16.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff can happen. But
I don't think anybody was expecting that. But you're right, it happens.
Oh, if Tim wasn't sucking face in Regina, we would have been fine. We'll just blame it all on Timmy.
Yeah, and not on Dexter's 3 pins.
or my buck.
Yeah. What, 3 pins aren't good shots?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Be nice to see Danny finish this game out strong too.
Yeah.
Couple of good threes in there would be awesome for GP. Good job on Xander coming in. He's played really well today, as we expected him to, really.
Good shots to finish here for Scotty too. Takes a rip at him.
Yeah, it's just way more aggressive than he was at the start of the year, and it's paying dividends.
For 250, I think, Xander.
So likely got enough points here for Danny. It just needs a side.
Yeah, Danny has got 247 already.
That's huge.
He's played really well this year,
7-1.
Danny. Danny's the shining light for that team, I think.
Yep.
Might want to look back and not have him in the lineup last game. Would have been the call, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all team effort. Big 13.5 to finish their season.
Good for them.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get Derek Lewicki in with the Mad Hatters, if they're listening. So maybe Derek can come on the camera and microphone.
Yeah. All right, so 7-1 for the GP Holy Rollers.
We want somebody else from GP. How about just a team effort? Team of them can combine in behind Gerald.
There you go.
Except for Scott.
This here really quick. We'll just bring Gerald in here right away. He's looking ready to go. Hey, Gerald.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Great match. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they were always up for it, right? We just got a few more breaks that time. It was good.
It looks like you guys are having lots of fun out there, too.
Well, I freaking try to tell them I won't use the F-bomb, but we should always be having fun. But you get into it, right? And there's intensity involved, even though we're virtual. But this was good. Yeah, this was good.
Good.
Yeah, you were able to keep the whole game going, right? There wasn't any sort of falter midway through. And just had a good vibe, a little bit more loose. See that you got Scott later in the lineup just to throw some balls.
Yeah, it wasn't lack of Sean not hitting, obviously, right? But he was pounding the heck out of the middle, and it worked out, good enough. I don't know what we took there. Did we take 7, 6?
Yeah, 7.
7, nice.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, that pocket aces for Sean was filthy.
I didn't even know what to do there, right? Because I knew
burn the lane down, Gerald. Burn the lane down.
What a shitty house, eh? What a shitty house.
We'll bring Linda in here too. Oh, we lost Daryl. Daryl's phone must have died on him.
Yeah.
Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah,
Gerald,
no,
you won that time.
Yeah, that was a good match, Linda.
Could have been a little better, but that's okay.
Yeah, you took the 1 point you needed to take, though, Linda. So that's all that matters.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah. The Holy Rollers made an effort. They could have gotten the 8 points and then gone ahead of the Bombers.
Okay.
But with the 7-1, it officially puts the Bombers still ahead of the Holy Rollers. It's obviously a game in hand here, but Derek, I owe him a drink because he got the 1 point that kept the Holy Rollers below us for sure.
Oh, okay, Derek, I owe you a drink.
What is that, collusion or something? What's going on?
No, not at all.
That's what we thought. Me and Dexter were worried that GP was colluding against us.
I'm sure I'm sure
against Paradise Game. Yeah.
Doesn't put Danny in. Danny's averaging 300 in the league, but Gerald keep him out of the lineup. Yeah.
And Robert threw that
don't even
ball in the
start
ditch for sure.
We're jokes. It's all good fun. I like it.
I'll use the F-bomb if I have to. Okay, you keep that up.
Family show, Gerald. Family show.
Yes, sir.
Linda, did Derek change his mindset in the 10th frame? The game before, he sat there and he waited to see what the person threw before going up there, and then we were kind of talking about it. All of a sudden, he went up there and threw. So, did he change his mindset going into the 10th frame?
I don't think so.
No.
Because you've got that little bit of a delay, it's really hard to see when they should be getting up.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
True enough.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, we just didn't know if he was waiting to watch what the other bowler was going to need or waiting for his turn at the third bowler, because I think it was Carter that was still going to go.
Yes, right.
And last game, he sort of did the same thing, but on his first shot, he ripped a 3-pin. So this time, we were, of course, chirping in the background saying, Derek, get up and go, you're good. And he threw the one strike, and there's a little bit of cheer going on background by the Bombers. So.
Yeah.
That was a great match, guys.
Yeah, it was really, really fun to watch. Good to commentate on. So I know you guys, unfortunately, both teams doesn't look like they're probably going to end up meeting Plucks. What'd you guys think of the first year of the league and your thoughts behind it?
Go ahead, Linda.
Oh, okay. I found it enjoyable. It's kind of nice to see, out of the province, people's bowling techniques and just getting to know people everywhere. It's kind of cool.
For sure.
I think it went well. It's just one of those games that it's up and down. So.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
And
today I'm going to bowl. I'm going to blame it on the spring ahead.
Yeah.
Nobody was
blame
really
it on
ready
that.
to go.
And I've always loved what you guys have done. I mean, it's great for our sport. And like Linda said, we're meeting people like to bowl our first 2 matches were Timmins and Thunder Bay. People I've never met. Yeah, Carter knows everybody, and Mullet Boy here seems to know a couple of them. But for you, what you guys have done is amazing, and I look forward to you guys carrying this on, even though I believe life will get back to normal here pretty darn quick. But why stop?
Yeah.
Take care.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's nice to be able to bowl everybody without leaving your house or doing that extra travel, right?
Yeah.
You still get the enjoyment and the camaraderie out of it. But
because I'm in my thong right now, Linda. You don't know it, but I'm in my thong right now. I got my shirt on.
I don't like that vision.
So you're like a news anchor, are you? You don't wear pants underneath the news desk?
Just don't get up and get your coffee.
Yeah. Well, both of you have great communities, right? In Medicine Hat or the Southern, and the people, and obviously you in Grand Prairie, Gerald. The teams can play. We made that comment many times throughout the day and even through the weeks that you both got great teams, and you can play in this league. You can compete in this league, so it's good to have you.
Thank you.
And obviously happy to have you and happy to have you back as we continue to progress down this league and the format. So like Carrie said, not in the cards this year to make the playoffs, but keep working at it. We give you guys tons of credit and positive thoughts to keep working at it, keep building the teams, keep building the sport, and people will get there. So it's happy to have you here, part of the league for sure.
Okay, well, thank you, and all the best to all those that are in the last round. Keep watching to see what happens.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We can't wait to have you guys as an audience.
Okay, see you in Edmonton.
All right.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Do a quick recap of where the standings are at.
You bet.
Yeah.
So we'll bring up the up-to-date standings here.
So 2 weeks left in regular season.
Yep.
Obviously, Next Gen's got a few games to go. Toppler's got a couple of games. Heartland's got a couple of games. There are playoff implications on there.
Yeah, Cargill's almost fully rounded out now. Just kind of Okanagan, obviously, if they go 8-0 against they're playing the Bombers, correct?
Okanagan plays Bombers, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So if they go 8-0, then we have to jump them up to 36. So then Heartland just get 5 in 2 matches, which obviously, as the Dream Crushers, we were thinking that too, and you never know, right? So Okanagan does have an outside chance to squeak in, but I know the Bombers are looking probably to try and hold out the Next Gen and keep that second spot, even though it's a 2-3 match no matter what. But
yeah, because if I remember right, Heartland's last 2 games they're not easy matches by any stretch of the means either.
No, exactly.
They are
Toppler,
facing
maybe?
they're facing Toppler and Next Gen.
Yeah.
So
but on the other side, maybe
too, right?
Heartland can still beat Next Gen and keep them down. Toppler's got 2 games left, so Bombers goes and plays 1 game against Okanagan. There's a chance that even Bombers still end up in first place in our division because Toppler, and then we take a bunch. And Next Gen and Toppler beat up on each other, coming out ahead. So there's still movement in both divisions for sure to be had.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that the implications still that be had with only 2 weeks left. Like there's a lot of sway here, especially with Next Gen having 3 games to play yet in the last 2 weeks.
And looking at Heartland, I mean, that team is firing. Jen Baker's playing fantastic. We know what Gino can do. Eric, obviously, Sean Schwartz threw massive last game. Those guys are looking for first place in the division.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right, get the bye. For sure they are. That's their goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, no, it's
good.
It's awesome to see, and like we get to see the mighty Plucks a couple more times here. Obviously, some good matches. And T-Bay, the Sleeping Giants, they're still sleeping, but maybe they'll show up for one last match.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Lots to play for. It's good to see.
Yeah.
And next week's matches. We got matches next week?
Yeah,
or next week is Masters.
Yeah, next week is Masters.
Next week is Masters. So the week after we have, show 15. We have BPG Bombers versus Okanagan Eclipse. A big match. And then Next Gen versus Heartland and Heartland versus Toppler. Obviously, Heartland's last 2 matches, Toppler's last match,
Ooh, that's
Okanagan's last match, and the Bombers' last match. So
that's an early start for Okanagan out there. That's an 8 a.m. start. I don't know if Kelsey can get up that early, can she? That's going to be hard for her.
The shade.
Match is going to be on.
Perfect. I love
Good stuff, guys.
Well, great commentating with you guys one more time. I imagine it'll be a couple more in the next couple weeks. DB, obviously you're going to be playing.
I'm out next week. Yeah, the week after. Final week of the year, we'll do it together, boys.
Yeah, we'll bring in a ringer to fill your spot here. But
someone that can roast you. We'll bring in Mitch. Mitch won't hold back.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, thanks, guys, and everybody have a great week.
Thanks, everybody.
At Cargill, we have numerous brands and varieties of canola seed to meet any producer's needs. We look forward to helping you create a plan for your 2022 crop. Please contact your local crop input sales rep for any of your canola seed needs. Thank you and enjoy the bowling.
Mm-hmm.